promise to help each other, celebrate the joys of life, and to console each other.
Hello. I am sorry, but I must interrupt this show. Later, you know what it is. Hey, Ham Solo. It's time, baby. Low. This time how we do. Hey. They said, we said we hit. They said, we said we own. They said, we said we strong. They said, we said we go. We say that you heard right. 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 They said, we said we hit. They said, we said we own. They said, we said strong. They said, we said go. We say that you heard right. 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 I swear that it's imminent. I've been going so hard on my penmanship. About to go in and buy me a whip. And I pull that shit fresh off the dealership. I can leave you on red like an Xbox. Got me laughing at you like you red fox. Got you chasing Hot Wheels like a matchbox. EA running the game and it don't stop. Super cold like I'm playing for Blitz. Got you all in my sights like Red Dead Redemption. Never gonna slip on my pimpin'. Better get out my way, bitch, I'm on a mission. Really ain't no competition. I'm steady grilling opposition. I'm get up and ready to win. They can play it how they play, but fuck what you say. I'm getting this money today. Last of us like a dying breed. Down the ride like a noble steed. Fatality moves, I make it bleed. That's on any game, that's on any screen. Shut up and give me your money. They said we so lit. Even if I take an L, we coming back just to show that we don't quit. They said we hit. They said we said we own. They said we said strong. They said we said go.
Oh, greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 14th installment of Everything Plus Gaming on TSWS Gaming. I'm Luke7, and joining me as usual is Mr. Ham Solo. Ham, how you doing today?
I've been all right. It's been it's been a hell of a day so far. Been good though. Been good. I'm not complaining about shit.
All right. Is it gaming related or no?
No. Not for today. Just got done running around and doing a bunch of like errands and shit. So
okay. All right.
Just that, but outside of that, I have been gaming.
A lot.
Like it's kind of embarrassing.
It's TSWS Gaming. If there's one place that you don't have to worry about gaming too much, it's here, bro.
I don't care. It's still embarrassing.
All right, well, we'll get into it. Vince, welcome in, Vincent Vega. Almost always the first one in through the door. Appreciate you for coming through. Please smash the like button, guys. Share it out. Get as many people coming through as possible on our way to 2K. Come on. We believe in you.
Don't be a scrub. Sub.
Don't be a scrub. Sub. All right. Ham, what have you been playing that you're so embarrassed about?
Yeah. So I've been playing a lot of Metaphor. And
what's a lot? Let's get specific.
I mean a lot.
What's a lot though?
Last I checked, I had 28 hours in it.
That doesn't sound like a lot though.
It came out Friday.
Yeah. It's been like, 72 hours now already?
Okay, well, I guess, never mind.
Look, do I have to look at that hairline? Please put a hat on. Just... Oh, my God. All right. Vince says he's living the metaphor. Okay, so I guess I'm the one who's making the calculations wrong because 28 hours since Friday, I guess.
Tell me what game you put near that much time in that short a span. Not lately, just in general.
Okay, so 3 days, right? After it came out. Wait, no, not 3 days. It came out Friday, so Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah, 3 days. Football Manager.
Okay.
Yeah, Football Manager for me, it's like crack. It's oh my God. Yeah. But the game looks good. I watched the show on Friday. You didn't share like what your rating was so far. I'm curious.
What do you mean by rating?
Like out of 10, what do you rate Metaphor so far?
Probably like a 95.
95.
Yeah.
This guy's a fan. You're a fan. You're a fan. You're a fan. Appreciate you, fuck. Appreciate you. All game is correct. Oh yeah. No, all good ones. All good ones are essentially correct. Essentially. Right. Ham's put in 28 hours in Metaphor. Do you feel like you're going to finish it anytime soon, or do you think it's like way, way like too soon?
I think I might be like a quarter into it.
Quarter. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So many good games and not enough time for sure, dude. For sure. Vince says it's 80 out of 100. Okay. Okay. It's not a terrible score. Ham, I've heard people say this is better than Persona. You've played Persona 5. So is that cap? Or is that a solid like evaluation of the situation?
I mean, I'm sorry for being lame on your answer, but that kind of depends on who you're talking to.
I'm talking to you specifically.
All right, if you ask me,
you
it's
put in
more
like crazy
it's more my demographic and interest than Persona is. Persona, like, it's a bunch of high school kids and shit. These are adults, or like, you know, seemingly matured people, very matured, like to the point where they have to like figure out how the world is working and shit like that. So like, I understand that there's a large element of that in Persona, but there's also a large element of sitting in class, weird stuff happening within the school, conversations that would only happen, you know, within a school grounds kind of stuff, and you know, just it's very juvenile in comparison to like Metaphor, where it just feels like very adult. Like Persona, I would say, is like a 13 Reasons Why. Like, if you know that show.
No, I don't know 13 Reasons Why.
Okay, well, fuck it. Do your own research. It's like a 13 Reasons Why. 13 Reasons Why is like Persona, while I feel like something like Metaphor is more like a kind of Castlevania.
So we're not talking about Buffy the Vampire Slayer then?
Huh?
It's more mature than like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, for example.
Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say so, just because of like the killing and stuff that's in this game. It gets pretty like, wow, like that person got put on a pedestal and not for a good reason.
I don't understand. Can you be a little bit more specific? No spoilers, obviously, but can you be a little bit more specific?
I don't know how I can be more specific than that.
All right, is
like,
okay,
people get put on a pedestal and it's not great.
Okay, in terms of death, do they explore death like to the nth degree? Like, do you see people actually die, or do they kind of like tone it down or whatever?
Depends on the type of way that they're dying. So like, I did see somebody get their throat slit,
and there was no like cut screen or whatever. It just happened, like just.
Yeah, it was really it was subtle. Like, it wasn't like they were like trying to put on a Saw movie production, but it also wasn't like
they didn't hide it.
They like you knew what the fuck just happened, and you pretty much seen it. Like it's, but then again, the Persona games were mature in the sense of sometimes you'd see some wild shit in those games too. I just feel like this game is more consistent with that.
All right. Ty is a bit more specific in the chat. Says metaphor is good, but my nitpick are the mask off moments that leaves a lot to be desired. Execution is poorer than Persona. We'll see how it goes. Mask off moments. I'm guessing this is like a mechanic in the game, Ham?
It depends on what he's talking about, and I don't even know how far he is. If you've put 10 or less hours in, there's just not a whole lot that developed. Like there's a whole lot that developed, don't get me wrong, but there's not like you ain't seen what I seen. What I'm trying is what I'm trying to say. Like you ain't seen what
the
I
rings of
seen.
power. What the hell?
Like I seen some shit, some wild shit. I've been into some pretty hard battles so far. And right now I'm in a essentially like a palace type of thing. That's what they call them in Persona, is palaces.
Okay.
The places that you like investigate, try to figure out what's going on and solve the problem. I was essentially in a palace, and I got to a point where I just was getting like where it's timed. I wasn't getting my butt kicked, but like you only have so many moves in this area. Where like if you don't beat them within a certain set of moves, you lose. Like they call in reinforcements and you just flat out lose. So like I'm definitely in a tough spot, but there's a lot of work to get there, and I could see how some people that are maybe, and I'm not saying this is Tae, because I know Tae gets down in his games and whatnot. So this isn't to Tae, but like, but I could see how a lot of people would maybe play like 4 or 5 to 10 hours and then think that they know the direction that things are going. And then when they find out how deep this game actually is, they might get nervous and not want to complete it. I tried to tell that to Matt, because Matt was telling me that he is really enjoying the game. And again, this isn't a shit on him situation or anything like that. I'm not shitting on anybody. This is just like what I found out when I played Persona 5 a couple of years ago. Was like, there'll be a time where you get into the game where you're so deep in the game that you're like, dude, is this gonna be over anytime soon? And then you look and see how the times that other people beat the game in, and you're like, dude, I haven't even scratched the surface.
Yeah, you still have a while to go.
Yes. And there and a lot of people expect, because most games don't treat side missions like other games used to treat side missions, right? Where
so these guys are
you need
generous
to
with
do
their
side missions, or else you ain't tough enough. You ain't rough enough. You ain't knowledgeable enough. That's this game. If you don't do side missions, you ain't gonna win.
So it's not optional.
It kind of is, but like it's optional if you're like that. But if you ain't like that, it's not an option.
I remember the last time me and you were chatting. Did you beat that boss?
Well, oh yeah. Oh, I'm way past that. Way past that. What's up? What up, Lemon? It's been a long time since I heard from that brother. It's good to see him here.
For sure. Ty says the combat I'm really enjoying. I love the free roaming to turn base. The transition is perfect.
It is, and it's addictive. It is very addictive.
Okay, it's important to have that balance.
I like it because it still gives you the choice. If you want to go, if you want to get into turn based, you can versus weaker enemies,
Yeah.
but you don't have to. You can just slay them right then and there. But if the enemy's strong enough, or if you're not leveled up high enough to quick kill them,
Yeah.
you'll essentially be able to knock them down to where you get like the jump on them.
But you still have to go into turn based if you're not.
Yes, if you're not strong enough to quick kill them, then yes, you will. You will kind of. You can run away now. You can knock him down, and then it'll offer you to battle. And this is all like, this isn't stopping the game or anything. Like you hit him, and it'll like flash on the screen squad, like as in like you could do a squad attack right then and there.
Yeah.
But you could hit B or just wait a few more seconds and just run right past the person that you kind of incapacitated for a minute.
You can stun them and then bounce.
Exactly. That part.
Okay. Grinding. How does grinding work in this game? Do you have to grind, or if you just do the side missions, you'll be leveled up to where you're good enough? Or do you have to do the side missions and grind?
Ask that one more time.
I'm saying, how does grinding work in this game? Do you have to grind and do the side missions, or do you get leveled up enough, or even maybe a little over leveled, if you just do the side missions and then go into the main story?
Both. You'll want to do both.
Damn. That's why it takes 80 to 100
It's a game that's supposed to last a long time. There's a reason in the loading screen for Persona games, it would say in the corner, take your time. The little loading screen would say, take your time.
Yeah.
That's this game. It's kind of like what you told me about Yakuza. If you try to conquer the whole game in a day, you're going to be disappointed.
You're going to struggle.
But if you know, hey, after I get through this section, I should stop, or hey, I'm going to do like 3 sections, or hey, I'm going to conquer this big portion right here and just get to the next major cutscene and then just kill it.
Yeah.
That's this game. This game is exactly how you described Yakuza. Don't try to be a hero, or else you're going to feel like it never ends.
Yeah.
Which it kind of doesn't.
Yeah. With most Yakuza games, what I do is I get through the first 4 or 5 acts, just focusing on the main story. And then after that, when the whole map and world and shops and everything opens up, I'll just spend a week or 2 weeks where I just buy booze, I get drunk, and then I walk the streets every single day for 2 or 3 hours. I'll just come home, and then I'm just grinding, just beating on dudes, listening to podcasts, listening to music playlists, and that's what I do for 2 weeks. And then I buy all the upgrades, everything, health, moves, everything. And then I go back to the main story and I just destroy everyone. Can I do that here? That's my question. Can I do that here?
No. Not really.
You have to jump between the two.
You have to do what you can throughout the day and kind of keep tabs on what things are possibly gonna expire.
Mm-hmm.
So your missions do have like some of them, not all of them, but some of them have expiration dates to them. Like if you don't get this done within this amount of time, then you just don't get to complete the mission. Or something
nice.
like that. But you will have to kind of pick and choose what you find to be more worth your player, worth for what's the best for your player, or your build archetype or whatever, right? So you'll want to do things for tolerance. There's all these different skills that you get. That's tolerance, wisdom, etiquette, or something like that. And yeah, there's just a few other ones as well. Certain missions you won't be able to trigger if you don't have enough imagination, or if you don't have enough strength, or wisdom, or something like that. You like that person won't trust you with the mission because you don't have enough of an ability, wisdom, or something like that, right? So it'll say have 2 wisdom to be able to do this mission.
Oh,
So then you can't do it. But then you go and get wisdom or learn stuff from other people that give you information on stuff. Then you come back to that mission with enough wisdom, then they trust you to do the mission. Right? So
okay,
it's
okay.
like unlocking things to unlock things to unlock things to unlock things. That's kind of what the game is. It's like once you get a key and unlock the box, you got to make sure you have the other key to unlock the next box. You know what I'm saying?
Feels like I'm playing an anime. That's nice.
It
It
literally
feels,
is an anime. Like to me, this game has a wildly good story. A story that I'm not even into this kind of world, I guess, right? I'm
mhm.
not really into games that have this type of world usually, right?
Yeah.
But the way that the story is told in this game, and I could say the same thing about Persona, right? The way the story was told in that game as well, it just made me constantly curious about what the hell was going to happen next.
They made you care.
Exactly. They made me care about something I traditionally don't care about, right?
That's a sign of excellent storytelling,
I don't
man.
like that stuff traditionally. But
Yes.
when you get me to care, then it's awkward. It puts me in a bad spot, honestly,
Why?
because
Why
I
is
tell
that
all these
bad?
people I don't like this type of game.
Mm-hmm.
Then I question whether I actually don't like it or if I just don't like the writing of other
Ah, uh-huh.
and movies,
Yes.
TV
Yes. And
shows.
TV shows. Exactly.
So it just,
Exactly.
so it really like I said, it makes me look bad, like I don't know what I like. But honestly, I think that's kind of human nature. None of us know what we like until we're presented said thing in the right way for us to then come to an understanding, or just flat out not be able to bark back because the facts are right there.
I think I would disagree with you, Ham. I think we know what we like. What we like is good stories, Ham.
Sure.
We like good characters. That's what we like.
So
We
should I say
don't.
we know we know what we like, but we don't appreciate it? Like, is that
Yeah, that's
is
also
that where
true.
we're
That's
at?
also
We don't
true.
appreciate
That's
shit.
yeah. That's also true. That's also true. We're not great with appreciating good stuff. Um, dude, that's a nice little nugget you just threw there. In a way that like it's something that we've discussed before. Like whenever we get into the whole woke versus woke stuff with stories, that's always our conclusion, right? It's something that me and you and even Ty and Oshus agree with. It's like, dude, it doesn't matter whether the politics is left, right, center, whatever. It just has to be good. That's all it has to be. And speaking of stuff that you don't usually don't care about, Ham, I don't care about pirates at all. But One Piece made me care about pirates, and also what's it called, Pirates of the Caribbean. But usually that's like a world or a franchise type. I don't even know it. Like a genre. Yeah, it's a genre that I
Yeah.
don't care about. Like I care about samurai in general. I care. I'll watch a mid show about samurai. I'll watch it. I'll watch a mid anime as well about samurai. I'll just do it because it's samurai. What am I supposed to do? But I won't do it like for pirate show or pirate movie or pirate game. So yeah, metaphor refantasio. That's what Ham was talking about just now. Ham, anything else you'd like to add about the game? right now before we move to something else?
It will make you mad as shit. Especially if you don't know what you're doing. Do not be afraid to ask for help in a game like that. I haven't needed help yet because I completed Persona. So like, but let me tell you, when I completed Persona, I had Elden Ring level help completing that game because it's a lot. You know, Elden Ring, that game, that's a lot to remember, figure things out. The game doesn't do a great job of telling you. Metaphor does a great job of telling you, but like a lot of it takes a lot of time, right? And you do get a little bit fatigued from reading so much all the time, right? Like you go from reading character interactions to reading examples to reading thoughts of other people. So the game is just like it's a novel essentially, right? It's a long ass novel, right? And my wife actually broke down something to me, and she, I asked her, I was like, no, she asked me, she's like, how long is a book? And I was like, I don't know how many lines are in a book. She's like, no, not how many lines, how many words is in like an average size book. And I looked that up, and that was between 70 to 120,000 words.
Okay.
And then I looked and seen that some of these games have like hundreds of thousands of lines. And I'm just like, all right, well, this is like a fucking trilogy book. Essentially, this isn't just one book. This is multiple books that you're pretty much reading. And then my wife was just like, Jesus, that's a lot of fucking work. And I was like, yeah, dude, these devs ain't fucking around. Like this is a lot of shit. It's a lot of work that they do. And like, we take advantage of it as, customers and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's just like, it's truly remarkable, honestly.
Yeah.
And then to have all of it have to make sense and tie into something else in the way that Persona does it, to me personally, is just, it's like, I don't know. It reminds me of the little audio snippet that Lil Wayne used to have sometimes at the beginning of a song where the song would start off saying, you are watching a master at work. Like that's kind of what this game looks like. It's just like watching a master at work, seeing all those like just to think of all the devs that had to come together to make something like this. This is crazy. It's crazy.
Could it maybe be a masterpiece, Ham?
Well, I did give it a 95.
Yeah, that's not very often.
Last game I gave that was Starfield. And I think this game has a better story than Starfield.
I was about to challenge you because I don't think this game has the same staying power as Starfield.
No, it doesn't have the same staying power as Starfield, but it has a better story than Starfield.
Okay.
It's more, everything's more together in this game than an RPG like Starfield, where everything's kind of segmented.
Mm-hmm.
Each game is great. I love Starfield, clearly. I like this game a lot too. I'll probably be playing Starfield further down the line than this game. But if Starfield dropped this year and Metaphor dropped this year, I'd probably tilt the hat to Metaphor.
Yeah.
Just for a now kind of thing.
Get it while it's hot.
If both of them came out this year and it was 2027. So then it'd be 3 years old, right?
Yeah.
I would probably say Starfield then. Just because if I had beat Metaphor back in 2024, what am I doing with it today? in 2027.
DLC, bro. DLC. They'll probably put out like a 30-hour DLC.
Maybe, but if you look at the DLCs for like the past Personas and whatnot, yeah, they're pretty flushed out, but after a while, you're kind of, I don't know. I feel like you're doing more of the same thing repetitively often.
Yeah.
On something like Metaphor than you are in Starfield. Where Starfield, you can be doing something and just not have anything to do with the story. Nothing's bothering you with it or anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where Metaphor, it's kind of like you have to engage into something for something to happen. You can't just build
randomly.
Right. So that's why I'm saying 3 years past, if they both dropped at the same time, I'd probably still be playing Starfield. Metaphor would be like, probably not. Probably done with that game. You know
Probably
what I mean?
Not. Yeah. Kind of like when you dropped Persona 5.
Yeah,
great
once
game.
I completely beated that game, that's it.
Yeah, great game, but
even if they come out with some DLC that's free or something like that, it'll be harder for me to come back to that game because the repetitiveness of it isn't as open and free as a Starfield is.
Really?
No, it's not.
But
like I
ahead.
said, the stories in it are more captivating than the stories in Starfield. They are.
No doubt. No doubt. Raichi came in here late. Welcome. 108 Dragon, my guy. I'll be seeing you this Friday. I didn't show up this past Friday because I was busy with work. And yeah.
You said every Friday. What do you guys be doing every week?
We podcast on we guest on what the Wise Old Gamers podcast.
Oh, okay, yeah, on Fridays, yeah. So yeah, Wasted with Wise.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. Anything else, Sam? Or you're gonna keep us updated? Maybe on Wednesday you're gonna bring something.
Yeah, sure. I just gave you like 30 minutes.
I'm trying to
squeeze.
You know what? I'm not gonna finish that analogy. I'm not.
Yeah, don't please. It didn't look like it was gonna be good.
Yeah, it wasn't going to end well. Anyways, as I said earlier, I haven't been playing much because of work. I couldn't even show up for the podcast. Ham, did you just try to run off that cliff? You were wild, man. You were wild.
Well, no, like sometimes there's a like you can't run off of any cliffs in this game. So like what I was seeing is if there was a step down, because it'll give you like a little notification of here, like jump here.
Yeah.
Or something like that. That's what I was trying to do, man. Quit trying to make me sound like I don't know what I'm doing.
No. I'm not trying to make it sound like you didn't know what you were doing. I was trying to make it sound like you were psychotic and you tried to kill the character or something. Anyways, Raichi, that's a nice little comment you got there, Ham. Did you understand what he's trying to do here with this? Did you get it?
What?
Did you get what Raichi is saying with this comment on the screen?
No.
Oh man, if I say it's gonna sound a little racist, but you know what? I'm not gonna say it.
There you go.
I'm gonna leave
Don't do it.
I'm just gonna leave it. Anyways, I'm just gonna leave it. Whoever got it. If you didn't, I'm sorry. Anyways, let's get into the topics. So today, the main highlight of the day is probably my game of the year so far, Concord. According to PC Games, Concord might be back soon as Mysterious Steam. Sorry, it might be back soon as Mysterious Steam. Dude, commas, right? Commas, guys. Concord might be back soon as Mysterious Steam updates ramp up. So this is from Will Nelson, published 1 day ago on PC Games. We're trying to go to other sources that aren't owned by IGN, so PC Games is not one of them. Concord was by all accounts a tragic end to a promising game. Okay, sure. Sony's fight.
They
Sony,
just saying stuff.
bro, promising, bro. I don't know, man. Anyway, Sony's Firewalk Studios made a hero shooter aiming to rival Overwatch, but player interest was almost non existent. The Steam player counts were frightfully low, and within weeks, Concord had been pulled from sale and refunds were given out. Is that the end of the story, though? I certainly hope not. Why do you? Okay, sure. I want Firewalk to get another chance. Oh, bro, what are
He said,
we?
"Why
What
do
are we
you
doing?
care?"
What are we doing, Ham? Why are we rooting for failures? I don't understand this. Like, I understand rooting for the underdog, okay, but not for like this guy can't make a free throw. He can't make a dunk to save his life. He's 4 feet tall and is in the NBA. Why are you rooting for him? What are you doing? Anyway, when Firewalk announced that Concord was being brought offline, it was a sombering moment. Sony, the maker of PlayStation, pulled a multiplayer game it was publishing from sale within weeks of launch. That's a very big deal and one that could be read as a portent of things to come. Portent. Wow. Haven't read this word in a long time. Well done. Well done. Things to come. There was a light at the end of the tunnel. However, as a Concord game director, Ryan Ellis wrote the following. At this time, we have decided to take the game offline beginning Friday, September 6th, and explore options, including those that will be. All right, let's get to it. Since then, everything's been quiet. According to a Kotaku report from last month, though, Concord's director reportedly stepped down. Jesus, when's the point? Whatever the future holds, Concord, I hope Firewalk and Sony find something that works while we wait. All right, god damn it. There's updates that are being done to the Concord on the Steam page, and these are said updates. There's rumors that there's going to be a free-to-play edition, and Concord might be coming back. Mr. Ham Solo, thoughts?
I mean, I'm excited. I'm definitely excited.
You're excited. Why would
Yes.
you? All right.
I just want to see, like, are they gonna make it free this time? What like what's like, you know, what are the parameters to this coming back now? I'm kind of wondering that. I'm also interested to see how the player numbers like react to that, because I've never seen this before. A game that straight up gets, you know, goes completely out and is available, cancels, and then comes back. Like, I don't know. I'm also interested to see. I'm still interested to see what Tae just brought up about with the TV show. With that as well. I was one of the people that said I think that this is coming out. I was one of the people, just like Tae, that said I thought it was coming back, and a lot of people said no. And I started to think, you know, maybe I was right. But now I'm looking at y'all like, yeah, no.
Yeah, I was also on the bus of this could come back and it could have some people go and play it. So I kind of I don't want it to come back. Just being 1,000% honest. I don't want it to come back because then we're gonna have like 2 weeks, maybe a month of people just trolling the game. Like the numbers will shoot up. There's no way, this thing is going to pass the previous record of 700 users or 700 players on Steam. If it's free, it's going to pass that. And people are going to get on to be curious and whatever. And then they'll get off because they're bored and it's mid. And then we're going to have another month of people trolling that Concord's dead again. And I'm not looking forward to that. I'd like us to just let sleeping dogs lie. You know what I mean? Like
I
you
guess.
failed. You know, like you failed. You shut it down, move on. Don't keep reviving. It's kind of sad, Ham. It's sad. Think about it like wrestlers, Ham. You know those like super old wrestlers that used to be awesome, but they keep coming back.
Yeah.
Concord doesn't even have that thing of we used to be awesome. It was shit at the beginning. It's still shit when it comes back.
Oh my! You don't know that
do
though. You're just
keep
assuming
doing
it's gonna be.
All right, Ham. So let's get into the next section of this discussion. What can they do to make Concord good? Since I'm negative, negative Nancy here. What are
You are.
they? What could they possibly do? Give me 3 things that they could possibly do to make this thing a banger.
3 things. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me go with that then. 3
God damn
things
it.
that they could possibly do to make this game better. Free. Make it free. Make the battle passes make sense. And
All right.
then as well, I have a couple things kind of jumping around. The one I'm gonna go with as a third though is
So you
to
can give me more than 3. It's fine.
okay. Just be able to describe the characters better to where they make sense. And then the fourth one is put in a few different characters that are interesting to some others.
So don't. Okay. So put in more characters. Describe them better. Better battle pass.
And free.
That'll do it.
I'm trying. I think
You
that
know
should
what
be
the
good
problem
enough
is?
though, bro.
Do you know what the issue? The issue is there, Ham.
I don't know. I don't see no issues.
None of what you've mentioned, right? None of what you've mentioned would put them like in the top, I don't know, 50 of free-to-play games.
You don't know that.
I do.
You don't.
I do.
You don't.
I do. But I done told you.
But
Ham,
you
I done
don't.
told you. Past performance, right? I done told you.
Yeah, that's past performance. That saying is an assumption. That saying
Ham,
is still an assumption at the end of the day.
Ham, you didn't just have a bad performance, right? You had the worst performance of all time. Of all time. You are, right?
Cut the cap.
You are the Tom Brady plus Michael Jordan put together of failure. That's what you are. And I'm supposed to expect that you're going to come back and be solid. Yes?
No. I mean, yeah, I don't know, I guess.
Come on, dog. Come on, dog. Park says my issue with the game was the movement, gunplay, and most of the characters uninteresting. If the game does go free to play, I'll give the game another chance. All right.
See?
Sure.
Back.
And that's what I'm telling you, Ham. Like because of like the name Concord. When this thing comes back, if it comes back, I can see like 100,000 people showing up. I can see it for like the first week, the first few hours. Dude, I am going to install Concord when it comes,
and you're gonna enjoy it.
Just for curiosity's sake.
Don't say no. You don't know that.
Ham, do you know what's going to happen after that? We're all going to look at our backlogs, and then there's going to be a bunch of solid games that will be coming out at the same time, and then we're going to reflect on this was fun for like a meme. but do I actually want to do this? Am I having fun? And then like 99% of people are just going to uninstall and keep it pushing.
I don't know, man.
I hate
I mean,
repeating.
I mean, I'll definitely keep it pushing if I got it. I did it this last time, right? Like
You
I played
did.
I played the demo. I enjoyed it. They said, "Hey, it's still going to be $40." I kept it pushing.
That's true. That's true.
Because what I had expected to happen is what happened with Destruction All Stars. That's what I had expected to happen.
What did happen to Destruction All Stars? I forgot.
So remember, Destruction All Stars got announced at $70 price tag, right?
Okay.
But then when the game actually launched, they then launched it onto PlayStation Plus.
Ah.
So then you could just play it because they weren't getting any orders, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah.
For the game. So that's what I fully expected to happen with Concord, where it's like maybe they seen like obviously not a great, but enough pre-orders to where they were like, we'll stick with it. And if they would have stuck with it, the $40, I wouldn't have liked it. But if they would have then put it in PlayStation Plus, I think it would have made a little bit more noise. But the problem is there a PlayStation Plus that's available for PC for you to download and play? I don't think so. So that might have been the problem with making that adjustment.
Yeah.
So, I mean, all I can really say is be better prepared, motherfucker. What you doing?
Taya insists that change the name. The name has a negative vibe. I would say if you change the name,
then you can't. Then you got to change the game.
Yeah, you won't get as many people on. In my opinion,
can't change the name and then have all the same characters in, and then the people are going to be looking at you like, motherfucker, you dirty motherfucker. For real though, like, wouldn't you think that? Like, if I went out and bought Concord, and then they took it away from me, they took it away from me,
yeah,
and then they're like, "Here's your money back. Now I need you to go check out this game called Sparrow. It's fire." And you go buy it and you get the same character and you start off in the same motherfucking level.
Yeah.
I would lose my motherfucking mind. Lose my shit. I was like, ain't no way that I bought this same motherfucker twice. Under two different names.
It'd be a hell of a meme.
This dude walked up and said, "I'm Charles." And the next time you see me, he's like, "I'm Chuck. I'm Chuck. Call me Chuck."
You're the same guy. What are we doing?
My name's William, but they call me Bill.
Oh my goodness. You guys are even the same height. What are we? Oh. Yeah.
I guess if we're gonna shorten the name, you can just call it Con.
And that's apropos, in my opinion. Just call it Con. Just call it Con, because that game, it was really something.
I'll try it though when it comes back.
Yeah. I'll also try it if it comes back for free. I'll also give it a go. But like I said, I'm tired of rehashing topics, and rehashed games is just another level of rehashing topics. I like to talk about new stuff and play new stuff as well. And this will just be us doing the same shit again, because people are going to meme the crap out of this game, and we're going to have to talk about it. But will they sell a new DualSense? Oh my goodness. The Concord DualSense was nice though. I don't know if you saw it. Did you see it?
The Concord. Yeah, that thing was nice. It was a nice controller.
It was actually nice. It was actually nice.
It was a lot better than the LeBron James controller. That shit was garbage.
The less we speak about the LeBron James controller, the better. In fact, the less we talk about LeBron James, the better. Because now there's rumors that Bronny is going to start.
Did you hear about the whole Bronny? Bronny was talking about a skin in Call of Duty, and Call of Duty's like, were on it.
Are you serious? No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. Let's keep talking. I'll look it up and it'll be part of the next topic.
Oh my god. How sad is that? Talking about
A lot
this
of people
stuff,
were
right?
just saying, man, it'd be nice to be LeBron's son too. Like, pretty much saying that he just gets shit. But I'm not gonna subscribe to the whole he gets shit. Obviously he does.
Obviously.
You can't just be absolutely worthless and make it into the NBA. You had to put some work in. You had to try. Like look at the Ball brothers and stuff like that. Like, obviously they had to try harder because they're not LeBron's sons and whatnot. But just because they had the last name Ball didn't get one of them into the league. Only 2 out of the 3 of the brothers made it. Right? And I think that if Bronny wasn't LeBron's son, he wouldn't be in the NBA. I 100% believe that. But at the same time,
okay, so we agree on that.
Yes, yeah, I 100% agree with that. But I'm not gonna sit here and act like he sat on the couch every year and then just got a call and just jumped into the NBA. No, he worked his ass off. He may have not deserved it as much as others, but that's also kind of what you get when your dad's a fucking monster like that.
It's
right,
life, dude.
So exactly. Yo, if Donald Trump walked into the Hy-Vee grocery store, why would you be surprised that the owner of the grocery store gave him something for free compared to the average Joe? You know what I'm saying? It ain't right. Sure, it ain't right at the end of the day, but
I think it is
if
right.
I go out and say, hey, Hy-Vee gave me something for free, they ain't getting no business. But if Trump says, yo, Hy-Vee gave me something for free, everybody's going to fucking Hy-Vee.
That's why I was going to say, it's actually not unfair. We all get what we deserve in this life. Now, we don't know what Bronny did in the past life.
I'm not going to agree with that.
To be born as LeBron's son, right? I don't know what he did in his past life, but that's the ticket he drew. Like that's the ticket that he drew. Bronny is getting what he deserves because he is LeBron's son.
Exactly. Yo, if Kamala walked into Earl May, the motherfucking flower store, that motherfucker would be full. And motherfuckers would be coming back there just to say that I shopped at the same store as that motherfucker. If I walk in there and let every social media post know that I shop there, don't nobody give a damn. They ain't making no money off of me. But they will make money off of a Trump, off of a Kamala, off of a big name. And if even their son walked in, daughter or whoever, there's going to be a lot more interest into that than me alone. You know what I'm saying? So so I mean that's essentially what Bronny is. Bronny's a walking he's a walking commercial. And people are going to exploit the shit out of that. And I don't blame him for doing that. I don't blame LeBron for wanting that for his family either. You know what I'm saying? Like good for him. I mean,
he's earned it.
Good for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like LeBron. I ain't gonna front like that. I mean, I like LeBron as a total NBA player. I don't like him on the Lakers. I'm not a Lakers fan. I fuck the Lakers. But like,
he has earned it, dude. He's the second greatest player of all time. Worst case scenario, he's the second all-time best player.
I'm just gonna start referring to these motherfuckers as one of the greatest to ever play the game because I feel so bad saying
number 2
that LeBron or Kobe or Jordan or Bird or Magic. Like there's so many great players that got schooled by each other.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So it's like I feel what you're saying when it comes to like maybe statistics and just like world renown, but I'm not gonna look past a motherfucker like Moses Malone. He was a demon. You know what I'm saying? Like there are a lot of demons. I'm not gonna say Moses is one of the greatest, but I'm just gonna say that he was a great.
Yeah. And LeBron is one of the greatest. Yes.
What's that? You kind of
LeBron is one of the greatest. Can we agree on that?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I
100%.
did freeze it. I'm saying, all right. And I'm a LeBron hater, but yeah. Ron Slasher, god damn it,
Come
dude.
on,
God damn
man.
it. Welcome in, Ron.
That's how he comes in the building. Jesus Christ.
Bro, keep it together. You just got here, Ron. Breathe. Anyways, Xbox partner preview, October 2024. The Xbox Partner Pro preview events are semi-regular showcases of upcoming games for Xbox and Windows PC, typically showcasing third-party titles. The show offers a platform for developers of all sizes to give us a glimpse of what they've been working on. We understand that the showcase will detail titles like Alan Wake 2's next expansion, The Lake House, as well as new trailers for Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, the Souls-like Wu Chang Fallen Feathers, multiple world premieres, and much more. It all goes down on Thursday, October 17th, 2024, at 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. British Standard Time, across Xbox channels on YouTube and Twitch. So that's 7 p.m. my time. Oh, this is nice. Ham, instead of me doing my Football Manager stream tomorrow, if we do a reaction stream tomorrow, you down for that?
For tomorrow?
Yeah.
Let's talk after the show. I'm not sure. It just kind of depends on timing and everything.
All right, cool. So the partner preview thoughts, Ham.
Who just joined?
Oh, damn. That's Oshus.
What up,
Oshus,
Oscar? How
welcome.
you doing?
Welcome. Can you hear us? Is your sound
You can
working?
hear us.
Yeah, I'm sure I can hear.
Hey, welcome.
Yeah,
No, I'm used to
good
like
too. That's
your
wild.
big ass earphones and everything. Did you buy like a new microphone? What's happening?
No, I just used my phone, my iPhone.
He updated his Xbox.
Come
Toto
on
is
now.
using his iPhone. All right. Sergeant, welcome in. Sergeant Sentinel. Oshus,
Yeah,
what
it's
you been
hard.
playing?
It's been a while. Good to see you, bro.
Yeah. What you been playing, Oshus?
So currently I'm playing The First Descendant and Predator Hunting Grounds. That's it.
All right. Good stuff.
Those are my
Good stuff.
games of the year.
Those are your games of the year, for real?
Yeah, like I mean that's all I've been playing. I mean, like, what can I say?
No, I'm not even like trying to say you're wrong or whatever. It's just
Yeah,
I'm
like
like-
I've never really been a multiplayer guy. This is the first time I've actually spent so much time on like multiplayer games. So it's a very different experience for me, and I'm enjoying it. Like I'm just having fun. Just I'm kind of tired of like 150-hour games. So I'm
throwing
giving.
shaded metaphor.
No, not at all, not at all. It looks like an awesome game, but I'm not gonna touch a game like that in a while. I started Tales of Estria a while back, and I also started another band called Scarlet Nexus, because I never finished that, and they go
30
on.
hours. No. Scarlet Nexus is 30 hours. Ham, back me up.
Yeah. Well,
Scarlet Nexus.
I call it 60 hours because you got to beat it twice.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Because of Kasane and oh boy, Yuito.
Yeah.
But it's not like a long 60 hours. It's a very short 60 hours, in my opinion. Does that make sense, guys? Because there's like games where it's 60 hours and you feel every single hour. And for me, Scarlet Nexus, which is why it was my game of the year, I didn't feel either one of those campaigns. It felt very, very good when I played them. Does that make sense?
I mean, the game is brilliant in terms of like I suppose a JRPG. The controls are easy to get hold of, and I play like on I think it was easy or medium, but like I had fun with it. It's just that after a while I just kind of tapped out, and I tried the other one, Tales, and yeah, that's also an awesome game. But like I could tell that I haven't even scratched the surface with that one. That one I'm sure is 100 and something hours easily.
Tales of what?
It's Tales of Arise or Tales of
Oh,
Yeah,
Tales of Arise.
Is
Very
it
good.
Tales
A
of
lot of
game.
people compared Scarlet Nexus to Tales of Arise, so I'm not surprised.
They're both published by Bandai is it Bandai Namco?
Yeah, yeah.
It's their games, so the similarities sort of make sense.
Dude, Tales of Arise is awesome.
Yeah.
You should keep playing through it.
Yeah, I definitely will. But I also picked up what is it, Throne of Liberty and Trials of Mana recently.
Oh, dude, Trials of Mana. Oh my god. Like I sampled it on Game Pass and I just
Yeah.
went to Steam and I was like, all right, let's go. You come here, go straight into the backlog. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
Game Pass.
Yeah, man.
Game Pass is dangerous.
Too much to play. There's just not enough time, man.
Just not enough time. If
Nope.
I could take like a 6-month hiatus from work and still get paid, but just be at home playing video games, I'd sign that document. I'd sign it. All right. So Ham, you're giving us your thoughts on this partner, the what's it? Microsoft partner preview.
Yeah, I mean they did it last year. Good to see it come back. I'm really digging Microsoft on the sense of their ability to get outside. I know a lot of people say, Microsoft Showcase is usually pretty good, but we're only ever really used to having just like the E3 or the Xbox Showcase, right? Like we're used to that, and we're used to that being good, but we're not really used to like them really being consistently out for these other things. But like the developer direct and the Xbox partner preview has been something that they're finally doing consistently. And it's nice to see. Like, whether you feel the way Ashes feels about this year or whatever when it comes to Xbox, then the nice thing to know at least is that they are consistently bringing us stuff to play. You guys just got done talking about Game Pass and just too many games, not enough time, and yada yada. And here they are saying, while we're saying that, they're like, here's another showcase. You know what I mean? So it's just like, we can be mad about, the year or whatever, or have you not, but like the fact of the matter is like, we're never hungry. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
We're never starving. We may not get what we wanted, right? Like Ashes, I think Ashes would have liked to see Black Myth come out on Xbox. I mean, that's just like a no-brainer, right? Just like last year, Baldur's Gate, no-brainer. Like, why are you not prepared for this? Fuck out of here with that. Be prepared. But although they're not prepared for that, it's nice to see that they were at least ready for a backup, right?
Yeah.
And in my hopes next time or next year or whatever, it's just like, hopefully you're prepared and able to provide this, because then we'd be perfect. Am I right,
Yeah.
Ashes?
Yeah, man. Like, I don't know, Ham. Like, it's not. How can I say? I just want something to be excited about. Like, I just this whole year, I can't think of like anything that sort of got me worked up. Not just on Xbox's side, just on PlayStation side as well. Like, it just feels like we've not like had anything that sort of like blew your mind, like in terms of progress wise, in terms of
You're
like,
just talking about first party.
No, I'm talking about just gaming in general. Like, there's a lot of games.
What?
Yeah, like there's a lot of games, but like it's on something that you've played before. It's
damn.
a genre that is either overexposed.
This is
Dude,
a
like,
good year for me, dog.
Like, what has been exciting this year?
I mean, Hal Worlds kicked it off for me. I love that game, and I'd still go back to play it. And I still got it downloaded on my PC.
Yeah.
Hell Divers, phenomenal. Halo has had a pretty good resurgence. I've been enjoying that.
But would you say,
Dragon's Dogma, banger.
But would you say those?
Hellblade, I enjoyed a lot.
Yeah.
What is it? And I'm just speaking for myself. Astrobot, I
Myth.
enjoyed it a lot.
Black Myth Wukong.
Metaphor Refantasio, what I'm playing right now. Persona 3 Reload. Like, yo, like I'm not having a bad year, Oshins.
No, like
Stellar
I'm talking about
Blade.
like
Oh,
Ooh, I
hold
forgot
on.
about Stellar Blade. Come on, man.
Dude,
Okay.
wait. Because the ham's done, right? So now it's my turn. Stellar Blade. Tekken motherfucking 8.
Oh, Tekken 8. I forgot about that too. Thank you. See, Loca's bringing up things I didn't even bring up.
Dude,
it was good.
Grand Blue Fantasy Relink.
All right, I'm out. I don't know anything about that game.
Frostpunk 2. Ham Solo's Senua Saga Hellblade 2. Huh?
Love
like,
don't
all
even
I'm
know
saying
what
is
I'm
that
saying right now.
You need to chill, my brother.
You guys mentioned a lot of good games, and I'm not saying that there's a lack of good
Final
games.
Fantasy 7 Rebirth.
Fine, like okay.
Hades.
We are speaking for ourselves, though, Lo. Keep that in mind. We're saying how awesome it is for us. He's saying for
I'm not
himself,
saying
it
like,
ain't.
No, like for
All
me,
right,
none.
that's fair enough. That's fair enough. If it's just okay, you know what? Your opinion is also valid. It's fine.
No, like for me, like I just think back to, and maybe it's just nostalgia. I just think back a generation or 2 generations back, and like there was, by this time we should be getting like the games that change like the generation, that like it's like, whoa, nobody saw this.
I actually kind of agree with Ashish right
Where's
here.
the big, like I remember when the PS2 came out, it was a little bit lackluster in the beginning. People still bought the hell out of it. But when we got to the time when Metal Gear Solid 2 was released, and we got to like, you know, games like God of War were coming up, like those games changed that generation. Like you didn't look at games you played before the same. By the time San Andreas came out, you know, it was like you were like up here. I just feel that like everything is being sort of like what's that, rationed out this generation. Like, yeah, have this. But there's nothing that has made you look at your Xbox One or your PS4 and say, dude, I need to throw this in the trash. I'm just saying.
Hey, let me speak real quick. Ashish has kind of got a point. Ashish has kind of got a point. And here's why. Here's why he kind of has a point. When certain games came out, like let's use Ratchet and Clank, for example. We were told, you know, this game, the reason this game came out is because it cannot run at all on older software. Like it cannot run on something that's
older hardware,
an SSD. And then got that, and then that got disproven, right? Not saying that it runs great without it. It just can run. It's functional. You can get from A to Z in that game without an SSD. It's just not as it's not as smooth as you would have liked, right? And then we also see 9 times out of 10, when a game comes out, here we are 4 years into the generation, it's still coming out for the older generations. So it's just like, I kind of see what Ashish is saying. He's in my opinion, what I'm interpreting him saying is it feels like this generation we got almost a 0.5 instead of a whole new gen. Because a lot of these games not only work on the other platform or the previous platform, but have some sort of way of even working on the previous platform. So what I mean by that is like, even if you have an Xbox One, you can play the new Hellblade on it. Sure, you can't play it native. You can still stream it. I could see how that just even though that's a positive, right? Even though that's a positive, it doesn't really scream, I need to upgrade. or like this or that the previous generation is really even over, right? So I'm not saying that I 100% agree with everything that he's saying. I just see what he means by like, yo, this generation, we're now almost 4 or 5 years into this generation, and it still kind of feels like a pro. It feels like a crazy long drawn out pro era. It doesn't feel like these new consoles have a select games that can literally not be played on a different generation. It only has like a handful. And that's true.
So this is about exclusivity then. The problem that we have here is that these games can be
Exclusivity
played
of
on other
generation.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The issue is that these new bangers can be played on previous consoles. That's the problem. I'm just trying to understand.
That's not exactly my problem, but that's
not
that's some of the problems. Like you see Jedi Survivor, how it came to PS4, the Hogwarts, and that came to fucking Switch in Xbox One and PS4 and all that stuff. So it's just like some of these new games that are coming out this year are still being dropped on the old platforms, and it almost asks, why would somebody that's hurting, or not really hurting exactly, but why would somebody that's possibly looking but not exactly sure be wanting to jump ship from last generation to now? I can give you a million reasons why, personally, but it's going to go in one ear and out the other for most consumers, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, all that we're all here for, the reason that we're on this podcast is for the games, not for the plastic that the games are, lodged on.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I kind of see what Oshus is saying. I don't think he's out of pocket.
Who DefCon welcome in says it's everyone is worried about graphics and want everything at 4K 700 frames per second. Ty, welcome in.
That's a fact. I can't even disagree with Hood Def because we all think that when we get a $500 piece of hardware, it's gonna run better than a PC. It just ain't. It just isn't. It never will. It's always going to be chasing. It's always going to be chasing the sandwich on the on the fishing rod. You know what I mean? It's always going to be chasing it.
Yeah.
But there was a time where it had the sandwich. There was a time where
There was a time. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. It's a mystery to everyone, unless maybe Ty can elucidate us on what happened. Welcome in, Ty.
What's good, guys?
Tell us what you've been playing, and also expagorate on your point here that you've put on the screen.
We've been Metaphor, really good game. I'm not too deep into it yet. I think I'm past the first dungeon and this the first side dungeon. So there's still a lot to get into. Like these are the kind of games that you can't play 10, 15, probably even 20 hours and think, oh yeah, I know what's going on. They get better as you go. They're like a very slow burn.
Facts.
What I will say though is, and this is something that's kind of hit me at the start. In Persona 5, you had these transformations, right? And in the transformations, it's when something happens to Joker. Think of it like a Super Saiyan situation where something bad has happened and then you transform into this, archetype or, a persona that then, enhances your strength. And I think in Persona 5, they did that really, really well. The character development was great. And when the transformations happened, it felt like a Dragon Ball Z moment. It felt like Goku going Super Saiyan fighting Frieza when, Krillin got killed. So it's a similar concept. My issue is in Metaphor, it isn't hitting the way it should be. Hammond, I want to know your thoughts on that, because the first guy did the transformation, and I'm like, okay. Second guy, I'm like, okay. Third person, I'm like, yo, why are they rushing this? Why is there no story weight behind these transformations? Like, it's like they're just kind of saying it, and then it's just happening.
I see what you're saying. Like, it's kind of like it comes out of nowhere, right?
Yes.
And it does. And it does come out of nowhere, kind of. And I do agree with you on the sense of Persona kind of explained why you did, or what, like why you came to this conclusion.
Yeah. Oh,
compared to this, where it's kind of like, hi, I'm more. It's just like, what the fuck? Who are you?
Yeah.
Right?
Like, I'm thinking
And-
about Persona 5, like when I was with Ryujin, Ryujin, that's his name. And you guys are hanging out together, you're doing things together. Like there's a lot of story development going on between you two. And then obviously Anne is connected, and then the bad guy, the villain who's the teacher, he does some crazy things, and you're about to like die and stuff, and then Joker just wakes up and transforms. I'm like, okay, this is the Dragon Ball Z moment. And I thought like, Metaphor's gonna execute all these transformations. No, like it's okay. It's not like it's a very nitpick. Like I'm not gonna lie, I'm nitpicking here. It's just I
Yeah.
expected the same quality, and I got something that's good enough. But anyway, apart from all that, the game is fun. It's great. I don't know how many people feel about the calendar system. I think it's actually a really good concept, and maybe some games should consider doing something similar. But we'll see.
All right. So you put up comment here about about Osh's point on games not doing anything this generation. Go ahead.
Yeah, so from what it looks like to me, is like this year's had many B tier games. You've had these games like Power World, which is not AAA, but it did really well. Right? Even is Wukong a AAA blockbuster game? I wouldn't even put it in that category. You've had Grand Blue, you've had Persona remake, you've had you've had a
Final
lot of games.
Fantasy?
Stellar Blade, Final Fantasy, that'll be AAA, but you've had Stellar Blade. You've had these kind of games that are not really meant to sell 20 million copies, but they're really good games, and I think that's
Y'all are
something to
wild.
note. Yeah, and I think that's something to note in this generation. Sorry, this year. And I don't know if we had many good B tier games last year. Like nothing really comes to mind as much. So maybe that's where Oshus is maybe coming from. That there hasn't been any crazy AAA game that's blown people away.
When did
It's not
Baldur's
even
Gate
like,
come out?
it's not even last
When
year.
did Baldur's Gate 3 come out?
Last
2023.
year. Yeah. So like this is the thing, right? It's not even about like
That wasn't like a game that shattered everyone's expectations and was like, yo, we need to jump to the next generation because of Baldur's Gate 3. That it's not good enough.
no, like
Like, we
but
need
that was
something
more of
better.
a PC event though. That was more of a PC event. Then of course it
No,
cascaded.
no. Was it more of a PC event, or was because you
Yeah.
weren't saying we haven't seen anything on console? You just said we haven't seen anything in gaming.
But like
That's what
PC
you
doesn't have
said.
generations. Like I made it very clear that I'm talking about this generation. PC doesn't have generations. It's one
Okay,
continuous
so
thing.
no PC
What I'm
games.
saying
Then.
to joke is very simple. Is that in the last what happens is this: the generation starts off slow. You have a lot of cross-gen games, and then slowly you start to transition to the triple A games. All now coming, or all the main games from the big studios coming to just the current gen or the next gen consoles that are just out there. And then after like 2 years, literally everybody gets away from the old technology. They start taking full advantage of the new technology, and you start seeing the type of games that you've never seen before. Case in point, Super Mario 64. I was watching a documentary about the PS1 and the N64, and I just look at like how that transition went from people used to platformers on a 2D plane to playing Super Mario 64 for the first time. Mind blowing, like that. It's nothing you've experienced before. How you approach games or what you think about game changes. Same thing when the Xbox One, PS2, and the GameCube launched. I'll say actually the Dreamcast started it off. When Sonic Adventure was released, everyone that thought Super Mario 64 was awesome was like, what the fuck? Because of like you could never play Sonic that fast in a full 3D game before with that sort of speed, with those sort of graphics. That moved the needle. It's sort of like, whoa, now the next gen is starting. We've always had these like these moments where now we're definitely we've crossed the Rubicon. We're on the other side. None of that has happened this generation. It's almost like we're still waiting for it to start. And I'll
I
say
don't think
this:
it's gonna happen though.
I also don't think so, because I think the most disappointing thing has been the optimization of the Unreal 5 engine. That engine has tanked so badly on consoles. Like every game that is supposed to blow you away with graphics and visual, and I'm not just saying it's visuals, has done nothing. Like it's literally, they've failed to sort of like take off, especially graphically on the consoles, and especially in terms of frame rates and resolution. In fact, I'll go as far as saying I spend more time now on Steam and not Epic Game Store, what's his name, CD
GOG?
Projekt, GOG, looking for gems from smaller developers who are trying new things, who are experimenting with new ideas, because of how dry and samey everything is. We've played all the genres, we've seen all the this. They're doing nothing graphically. So what is moving the needle? What is making the games better? Are we getting drastically better gameplay experiences than we did 5 years ago? And the PS Pro will tell you no, because they're still showing you Last of Us 2 as a as a showpiece of the technology. They're still showing you games from like 5 years ago. I don't know. Like, I just feel that, like, it's really, for me, it's not as exciting as it was, well, prior generations.
I think this is
I think
definitely
the excitement is gonna come from the like, right, it's gonna come from the indies, because these things cost money. You can't be taking a risk with like you can't be taking a risk with like millions. But even at that, like, I wouldn't like. I think you're talking about two different things there. You're talking about graphics from a point of view. I don't think we were going to get any of those crazy leaps, like, because we're going from 2D to 3D. Then there's a huge jump between
it's
the PS2 to the PS3.
It is what it is, dude.
Yeah, so that's not going to happen. If you mean innovation, yeah, I think the indies are going to carry that, just because it's a lot more risk free to do. And I would just say, when I think of like the gaming industry, I never segment it into Japan, West, Southeast. It's just, to me, it's just all one thing. So even the indie developers, to me, they're part of that situation. They're part of that whole equation. When we played, was it Vampire Survivors? I didn't look at them really and be like, oh, you guys are separate. Like, no, you're part of the video game industry. You can get nominated for Game of the Year. Dustborn look played as well. Like, it's a small indie game, but it's still part of the industry. So if the indies are doing great things, I don't look at that and say like, well, the AAA devs are not doing any great things. I don't know. It's just part of the whole industry.
Wait, did you just try and sneak in Dustborn as an indie that's doing great things? Did you just try and do that right now, live?
I mean, listen, you told me it was a good game. You told me you liked it.
You tried to do that. Are you serious right now?
You said it was a dope game, though, right?
No, that's not what I said. That is not what I said.
Oh, okay. I mean, you seem happy when you were streaming it. My bad.
You know what? You're not going to trigger me on Dustborn. You're not going to do that.
I mean, you could have streamed Metal Gear
anyway.
Solid instead, but
Yeah, and people are paying me not to talk or even play about it. And you know what? I might even want to mention that. Ham gave us his take on the Microsoft partner preview. Oshes, what are your thoughts on the partner preview? And I want to watch it. Essentially, it's going to be about 7 p.m. our time, Oshes.
Please don't ask me about Xbox. Like, I'll pass. Ask us, Ty. I've got nothing. Nothing to say. Just keep quiet. Like,
Ham, did you hear about? I'm forgetting a name. Something Steel or whatever. A WNBA legend that refuses to speak about Caitlin Clark by name. Did you hear about this lady?
Oh, is that Cheryl Swoops?
Yeah, it's Cheryl Swoop.
Sounds about right.
Oshes is like Cheryl Swoop. Fucking hater. This guy. Ty,
like, what am I supposed to say about Xbox that I haven't said before, dude? Like, they're gonna do the same crap where they do nothing. It's going to be a whole bunch of third-party games and stuff and a whole bunch of people talking about like, oh, it was this experience making this game and we tried to make it. I don't care. I honestly, like, there's nothing Xbox can say that will make me care about their brand at the moment. Until I see, I'll tell you what actually has sort of made me, I'm surprised, is the amount of marketing, Xbox marketing, that they're putting behind Black Ops. That's the only thing I'm actually surprised by. Is like, wow, you guys are actually putting Xbox logos on something that's going to sell. You actually want to sell consoles? Incredible. This is I'm shocked. I was actually checking if Aaron Greenberg is still there. Nice guy, but I'm just saying, like, it seems like there's almost like a shift in the attitude in the marketing department. But that's it. Besides that, I'm not looking forward to anything they have to show me. We're in October, Luke. They've released four Xbox games on PlayStation. They've released one game. I'm talking about them publishing it from Xbox Studios. To me, it's ridiculous. These guys, they can't. They're not good at execution.
Yeah, come to
Wow.
me. don't go to this guy.
Wow. I don't know anyone that loves Xbox more than you, Oshus. I like the amount of passion. It's tangible, you know. You can feel it through the screen. Tai, what are your thoughts on the Xbox partner preview? It's 6 p.m. British Standard Time, so it
So
shouldn't
I
be too
think
late.
any gaming show is always a win for developers and gamers alike. I've said it a few times here now that when you're young and you're a kid, and I only got a GameCube, I'm still watching Sony's E3. I'm still watching Xbox's E3 because I like games as a whole. I'm not like I don't care about the consoles. I care about video games in general. So anytime you're gonna tell me you're gonna show me more games, I'm more for it. Anybody who says things like, "Oh, state of play, I don't want to see," it's like just don't watch it and shut up. Like that's what it is. Like let the people who want to watch it. And if you think it's gonna be boring, then catch IGN's highlights. It's so simple. Like that's all you gotta do. This showcase right here for the it's gonna show Alan Wake 2, Sega's Like a Dragon, and Wu Chang. Like this is good for the developers because it puts more eyes on these games and it puts them on notice for the consumers. Like, hey, listen, we could go buy this. Like this is a win-win situation for everybody. So anyone who
There'll be a couple of world premieres as well.
Yeah, there's going to be a few things, right? So yeah, there's going to be a few things, right? And listen, if it I remember, I think it was one of Sony State of Plays. I can't remember which one it was, or it could have been Xbox's one of the developer roundups, and I think they had Street Fighter. And just before Street Fighter, they had another like smaller indie dev, and after Street Fighter, they had another smaller indie dev. And I'm thinking that must be great for these guys to know, like, hey, listen, we went before Street Fighter, so all eyes were on us, and then people watch Street Fighter, and then straight after that, another indie dev goes through. Like, this is really good for the developers. So, it's a good thing. I think one game that I'm looking forward to seeing is Wu Chang Falling in Feathers. I know that's going to be a Game Pass game as well. So once again, that's going to put on notice for people out there. I won't say I'm excited, but I'm going to give it a watch. And if I don't have time, I'll just catch the highlights. That'll just be that.
All right, Oshus. All right, so maybe I asked you the wrong question, Oshus. Forget your excitement. Will you watch it live or wait for the IGN highlights?
I'll wait for the IGN highlights.
Dude, it's at 7 p.m. our time, bro.
I'm good, bro. Like again, show me. Like they've given me nothing to be excited about. Look, why would I spend?
No, it's fine. I won't let you go on a tirade, crapping on Xbox anymore. We've seen enough of that. All right, this is not the rerun. This is not the rerun. Jeez, so much, bro. Come on, unhinged. This guy, you just won't stop. So a gigantic game was delayed last week. Ham, please tell us what are your first thoughts. What do you think about Football Manager 25 being delayed to March of next year?
Pass. We can do that, right?
All right, Oshus.
No, okay.
What are your thoughts on Football Manager being delayed?
Is this the simulation game, ne? Not it's the Sega one, ne?
Yeah, it's not FIFA.
Okay, yeah, no, I love those games, but I haven't played them in a while. Look, I don't think it matters much, to be honest with you, look, because you still have the current one, and it still plays more or less similar to to that. It's only hardcore people like you that are gonna feel it if, like, for instance, you've done everything that you needed to do in this one. But I'm so slow in those games that I'm still paying the one from 3 years ago. So I don't think it's not the sort of game that you need like desperately seasonally. So that's fine. I don't think that's a big deal.
Do you want some tips? Because I can hook you up, dude.
Yeah, sure.
All right. We'll chat. What's this, Oshus? You've done enough talking for one day. Vince says the real football simulator for sure. Ty, what are your thoughts on Football Manager being delayed to 2025?
Yeah, I think it's I would hope the delay is due to the fact that they're trying to improve the game. They're trying to maybe include new mechanics, like so you're gonna get a bigger jump as you would have, let's say,
Yeah,
with FIFA to FIFA 25, for example, right? People complain like, hey, the jumps are very incremental. Or even with Assassin's Creed, people were complaining that like, it feels like the game needs one more year just to like, make it feel like a fully polished game with new game modes, etc., etc., etc. I did a quick Google search there and it said like, FIFA, Football Manager 24 is the best selling game with 7 million players. So I mean, listen, if you're pulling in 6 to 7 million sales on a yearly basis, that's pretty impressive. So for them to delay that, obviously the shareholders won't be happy. It means that they probably have identified certain things that is important to fix. So listen, I think it's good that they're doing it. No one wants a half broken game, half finished game, and then all this patches comes later. If we've learned anything, or if we've learned anything from Ubisoft, is that
yep,
gamers are not really keen on these
yep.
kind of 80% finished game, and we'll fix it later. Because Ubi is saying like, hey, listen, we're gonna give you the new DLC, and we're gonna release on Steam in November. And to be honest, it feels like November should have been Star Wars' release date. So yeah, I think I'm good on Sega or who this is for delaying the game.
It's Sega.
Sega, yeah.
It's Sega.
And
Apparently
also,
they
but I mean, it's like Sega's on a roll right now with all these games, right? They
yes,
don't want something tarnishing their name.
yes.
Like Capcom is doing great, Sega's doing great. Do anyone who's flopping is Square Enix. Like last thing Sega needs is to be in that kind of Square Enix bracket of releasing garbage ass games.
Yeah. Well,
Even Konami's.
Vince,
Yeah,
I saw
Metal Gear
those
Solid
rumors.
coming out soon, but Metal Gear Solid is coming out this year, right?
Yeah, and
Yes, it's
they
coming
just
out this
dropped
year,
Silent Hill 2.
November.
Silent Hill 2 is doing really well, yeah.
Coming out in November, apparently. So yeah. Vince, I did see these rumors. I don't know if they're real. It says apparently their engine wasn't up to snuff. They can't afford a bad launch. I think they can afford a bad launch. That's the truth. Ron Slasher says they're working on Concord Development Manager. That is why it's delayed. Okay. 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 I I've seen other rumors that say that it's not the engine. They're actually working on extra stuff they want to put into it. And that has me very excited.
Let
I
me ask
hope
you a question, Luke.
what
I last time I played it, you could simulate. You could you can live simulate the matches, right? But the
yeah,
standard of like the pitch game is not like FIFA quality. Am I
yeah,
correct?
yeah.
So
But
literally all they
it's
need is like
gotten
an engine, like a good soccer.
it's gotten
Like,
much better.
yeah, no, I remember it was incrementally getting better, but it still had like the jank, that that jank to it.
Yeah, it's still a bit jank. I'm not gonna lie, it's still a bit jank. Especially if you want to compare it to like Pro Evolution or
Yeah,
FIFA, it's still a bit jank. But it's to the point, Oshus, where you can now see like what's on their jerseys, and they have like specific celebrations that they make when they score and all types of stuff. Like it's compared to what it was like in FIFA 2020, for example, way different, way different. The lighting in the stadiums for evening games, the sounds of the fans. Now, even like when you're like 2 goals up, and then the players are passing the ball around and you're controlling the game, they do what they do in real life, where when they pass and then someone else receives it, it's like hey, and then another pass is like hey, just like what happens in real life. And even like your celebrations after winning trophies and whatever, they're getting better and better. But one of the places where they're lacking badly, in my opinion, is they make you create this manager, right? But you rarely ever see the manager. You only see the manager when it's like at the beginning of the match and they show the players walking out of the tunnel. That's it. But there's so many other missed opportunities. You know how in the PSL, Ushers,
yep.
the match starts or right after it ends, they'd put the manager standing in a place like this, right? And then they put like the PSL sponsors and whatever behind, and they speak to him in the tunnel. You have that mechanic in the game, but they don't put the manager standing there talking.
They
That's
should
fine.
actually they should get some guys from Konami, from former Pro Evolution, because they did all that stuff with their Legend. Was it not Legend? What was it? But like their season mode or their career mode had all that.
Yeah.
Like it really focused on the manager. If you the ones where you could change the face, you got to see your manager almost every single time when you are in between screens, either signing contracts, busy doing interviews. Like they did it
Exactly.
at every single point. Yeah.
Dude, the press conference, pre and post game in Football Manager,
Yeah.
they show you like the table, right?
Mm.
They show you the chairs. It's all empty. There's no one seated there.
You need
It's
to use
like,
your
bro, come on. Like, you don't even have to. Okay, maybe don't put them moving their arms or whatever every time they say something, but at least put like still bodies there. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But you know what? Every year they have been improving, and
Yeah.
I'm hopeful for the rumors that I've seen. The rumors that I've seen is that it's going to be a gigantic jump. Apparently, again, this is just rumor, guys. Apparently, for anyone that's been paying attention, Football Manager has been launching day one on Game Pass for the past 3 or 4 years. Apparently, Xbox has been giving them a lot of money and a lot of assistance to develop the game. And this jump for 2025 was specific. Like they had targeted 2025 to make a gigantic jump in the game. So we'll see. We'll see if it's real. We'll see.
I'll say one thing real quick.
Yeah.
Cautious's point about the lack of jump that's happening in the industry, and I just think that's just from a technical point of view. I think AI is going to be that probably factor that is going to change things up. I think EA, for example, when they were making college football, it was AI that actually made those 11,000 player heads. Then it just had the artists going and just kind of like scrub a little bit. So like when you guys are talking about Football Manager, I'm thinking AI can just handle all that kind of lights, can handle all those like player interactions. AI could probably have a situation where you have a player going in for a slide tackle and the camera's panning on a particular way. It could actually make it probably feel more like a real football match more than anything else. And that's going to be because the reason why we're not seeing that is probably because it's cost heavy, right? But if AI
Yes.
just floats that, then I think that's where we're going to see the major jumps in these games.
Right?
So yeah, I think that's the main thing.
If that were to happen, I don't know if I'm going to play anything else next year.
I was thinking you're going to say that, yeah.
I don't know, because Football Manager 2024, as it is, I'm addicted. As it is, I have, it takes physical discipline, mental discipline for me to be like, not powering that on. I'm going to play something else. I'm going to turn on the Xbox or the PlayStation. I'm going to do whatever. I have to focus on that. If they do what you're saying, Tai, if they make it FIFA, because my problem with FIFA Manager, right? Because I spent so many years with Football Manager, FIFA Manager is too easy. Like I can beat the game in 3 hours. I'm like chilling. In 3 hours, I can do it in a Football Manager or on the manager mode on FIFA. But on Football Manager, it takes a while, and I love the challenge. I love it.
Yeah.
And even when, and this is another beautiful thing, I think it started happening in 2016 or 17. The AI started adapting because it got to a point in Football Managers before 2015. If you found your tactic, like your sweet spot, you could play that tactic all the time against anyone, and you'd win if you just had okay-ish players. With Football Manager 2016 moving forward, this is for me in my personal experience. Even if you found an awesome tactic, even if you were managing Manchester United and you had great players, you could still lose a lot. You still have to pay attention. And during in-game, the AI will be adapting to your tactics. And then your assistant manager, depending on how good he or she is, would be like, dude, we should probably start prioritizing wing play, etc. Like adapt, which is what happens in real life. So
Yeah, even to add to that, Archers, if you think about it, if I don't know if you ever watched those videos about Skyrim with AI, or even AI, where these guys are literally they have a microphone and they're going to these NPCs and they're just like, "Hey, what's up?" And they're like, "Hey," like they respond to you, and the guy, they explain like, "Okay, use this mod to let you speak, use this mod, and this mod is the mod that lets you speak to them, and they'll respond back ChatGPT like, because
Yeah.
that's just programmed to do." You include that in a RPG like game, I don't know, the possibilities are endless. Like if you want to talk about like games where you can live forever, like think about the Rockstar games like Red Dead Redemption 2, think about GTA, think about Skyrim, think about even Starfield. You could throw that in there to have these characters actually role play to your interactions. Like you curse at them, they curse at you back. You threaten them, they actually run away, go call the police. Then you run to them
Yeah.
begging, please don't call the like all this interaction. I think that's where the next level of gaming is. And technology wise, we're not going to get to that, but it's obviously these mechanics like AI that's going to allow us to reach that.
So I was actually thinking about, like, again, AI is now built into everything: graphics cards, your browser, your messenger, everything. So like, what, to your point, actually, you're absolutely right. I was thinking about what you just said, and I actually was thinking about Red Dead Redemption 2. That was like the big game for the generation, but there were so many awesome like landmark games that even in its year it didn't even win Game of the Year. And of course that's subjective. But like, to your point, I was thinking about, actually the turning point is going to be GTA 6. I think this generation more than any other generation needs Rockstar, and it needs GTA 6. GTA 6 is the first, that's when everyone is going to start again having that appreciation, especially for consoles, to say, wow, my PlayStation is worth something, or my Xbox is worth something in terms of showing me something I can't get or experience on any other medium. Because I think they're going to do a lot of that there. Imagine with all those smart NPCs that they had on older games. Imagine if like all those NPCs have individual or have like AI routines. So every single time you talk to that NPC, you have a different conversation or a different experience, and they can actually program missions where they can actually, like almost like how Starfield does random generation of planets. They can now randomly generate AIs to give you different instructions and get you to do different things. So it's literally like you're in a live world that's not inhabited by real people. And I think
Yeah.
that's what's going to change everything. I think GTA actually this generation is going to be more meaningful than it's ever been because of just how milk toast everything is. No one is taking chances on anything.
You see,
Everyone is just
there's
taking over.
two developers, or two developers that I thought could kind of bring us into like the area you're talking about, and that was supposed to be Bethesda or Rockstar. And Bethesda has dropped the ball on that aspect. Starfield didn't take us into some type of, oh, this is how RPGs need to be made right now, right? So Bethesda's out of the picture. So I think you're right. It is
that was
Rockstar that's
Baldur's
going to
Gate.
be.
That was Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate did that for RPGs. Although
Yeah,
Ushers
actually,
disagrees.
yeah,
But I
you're
still
right.
think PC
Baldur's
RPG.
Gate, Baldur's
Yeah,
Gate.
yeah. For
Like, I mean,
PC
look at the
only.
impact of Baldur's Gate on console versus PC. It's day and night.
I don't wait. How about? Do I really think Larian did that? I think okay. I don't know if Baldur's Gate 3 is a ground like you guys let me know. I don't know if it's a groundbreaking game in the same way
Hell
Red
yeah.
Dead Redemption 2 or the same way Skyrim was or the same way Mario
Yeah, it
64
is.
was. You think so? Baldur's
Yes.
Gate 3.
Yes, it
Yeah, and I'll
was.
tell you why.
Yeah,
It
Go
is
it
ahead.
was.
so for turn-based games. There's never been a turn-based Western RPG that was as polished. Like, there's an interview with a guy from Bethesda, and he was explaining the magic of Baldur's Gate and the fact that those guys programmed every single nook and cranny into that game. That even if 0.1% of the players experience that specific thing, they still programmed it. And he says that's the difference between them and Larian, is that they program the stuff that they think majority of the players are going to interact with. Whereas Larian programmed so many different, whether you touch something that you are not supposed to, every single decision in the world literally makes a difference for your playthrough. Chances are you are going to see things in your playthrough that someone else has not seen. So that is like in terms of like no one has ever done an RPG that deep as a turn-based RPG that deep before. So
Let,
that
let
is
me
that's
let me
there's
let
also
me rebut that a bit.
I think
Not
I think there's never been an RPG period like that, Ushers. Like turn-based or action or whatever. Like that is the RPG, Baldur's Gate. That's the one.
it's insane like how many decisions like it's even more than I would say if you're sitting with a bunch of your friends and playing Dungeons and Dragons. The outcomes in that game are so varied that there is no two experiences that will ever be the same. Like I know this from Mass Effect that after maybe your your 20th playthrough, you sort of know the script. You've not missed anything by then. But with that game, you're still learning new things after like your 50th playthrough. There's still
And if
stuff
you're
that you
not taking notes, Tai, if you're not taking notes, I actually read this on an article when it first came out. If you're not taking notes, it is almost impossible, unless you have like photographic memory. It's almost impossible for you to make the exact same decisions and have the exact same ending in Baldur's Gate 3. Because every little decision will influence the ending. And it's not like Mass Effect where it kind of tells you like this decision is specifically important. You'll think, oh, this is just another decision I've just made. And then that decision right there, that's the one that changes everything.
okay. I'm not. I'm actually trying to like down Larian or whatever. Like Baldur's Gate 3 was a game I was really excited for. I just haven't played it yet, so I just trying to verify. I guess the way I looked at it was Divinity Original Sin 2 did really, really well. And what Larian did is they just upscaled that tremendously, right? When I was talking about like games with impact, I was talking about games that kind of change the landscape a little bit, right? So let's say GTA, San Andreas, or one of those games, like that kind of
As
really
in
changed the way people see games.
people followed you.
Yeah, like even for example, Skyrim is one of those games. I think Skyrim is like I played Skyrim. I didn't actually really like it, but I recognize that like this has changed shit. Like I've never experienced a game where I could do anything I wanted like this. It just gave me a special feeling. And people might play Ocarina of Time for the first time and be like, yeah, this is something special, right? So I'm thinking about these kind of games that have this kind of crazy impact.
Well,
Baldur's Gate 3 impact,
let's have that,
yes.
yeah.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say let's have that conversation once you've at least played the first chapter of that game.
Yeah. That's probably the best thing to
Because
do.
I think because again, look at like for me, I just look at like the fact that we're still the only other game this generation that's been as talked about as Baldur's Gate is Elden Ring, and maybe to a lesser extent Cyberpunk for the right and the wrong reasons. But I don't think that this, and again, I'm not, and I don't want to say this generation make talk about consoles, but generally just in the culture, but primarily it's a PC experience, which is why I think a lot of people don't consider it, especially in the console space, as a generation defining game. But even like if you look at how complex PC gaming is, there's been very few games that have had on that platform, the most varied platform available. There's very few games that have had that impact in the last couple of years. And I think when Star Citizen maybe one day comes out, that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting them to have that sort of buzz because there's no one is, and this is without any sort
Damn,
of like.
betting on Star Citizen. Oh shit, that's something.
I think the way I look at Baldur's Gate was kind of like the way I would see maybe Uncharted, like going from Uncharted to The Last of Us. From a graphical standpoint, a motion capture standpoint, you broke barriers, yeah. But I wouldn't say Last of Us like changed the industry in the sense of like gameplay mechanics or anything like that. I don't think I think it did what it did extremely well. So did Larian execute Baldur's Gate 3 in the best possible way from an RPG perspective? Yes, but I will give an example. I don't know if Bethesda executed the RPG mechanics of like Skyrim in the best way possible, but it gave you a brand new experience in terms of like freedom, something that I believe changed the industry, right? So that's where I'll just kind of maybe disagreeing, but I'll play the game and I'll see for myself.
Yeah. I would agree with Osh's last point. Just play the game, dude.
Would you say
I would
Elden
compare
Ring
it.
is similar?
Yes.
Groundbreaking
Yes.
as well?
Yeah, I think Elden Ring is groundbreaking. The same way Dark Souls 3, I would say 3 because 3 is the one that got through to a lot of people, right? A lot more than 1 and 2. Dark Souls 3, I think for me was groundbreaking. Um, shameless plug, I finally beat Dark Souls 3 last year. Anyways, I feel like Elden Ring definitely broke ground because
I
there's a
agree.
whole bunch of games, especially if the metric is did you do something, and then a whole bunch of people tried to do the exact same thing, because it seems like that's what groundbreaking is for you, Ty. Because you brought
Yeah,
up
like
GTA and how
I would
everyone
even.
else started doing open world 3D
Well, I'll
games.
give you an example as well. Like when I look at Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, I think that might have been groundbreaking for Zelda. I don't know if it's groundbreaking for the industry. Like, yeah, we already have huge open world games, like like Skyrim and that kind of stuff. So it wasn't anything crazy. Even Cyberpunk, I think Cyberpunk was a great game. I think everyone would say it's probably a 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 game, especially with the 2.0 and the DLC added. But was Cyberpunk a groundbreaking game for the industry? I don't think so. I think it was
No, it wasn't.
very
But like
it was a very good game that was executed very well. That's what I'm trying.
Genshin,
That's how I was putting like Larian in the same boat, like Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk, Zelda, God of War. Like it's just a very well made game that does what it wants to do really, really well.
yeah,
But
but
did
like
it change the
nobody
way
is.
we see CRPGs? That was a question.
I think it
But
did.
like
I think Baldur's
yes,
Gate changed, and you know why? When was the last time a game came out, and then you had game developers running scared?
I'll say one thing to
Our
that
world.
though.
God damn, man.
maybe Nintendo, yeah.
no, that's just one. That's
Yeah,
just
No,
Nintendo.
not just Nintendo, Naughty Dog as well.
Naughty
I'll
Dog.
say one thing
What?
though. I'll say
People
one thing
calling
to that.
people calling them fake developers and stuff like that. Like it was fucked up.
Is
Oh
it?
yeah,
I'll
when they were
say
saying that this must have been AI. Sorry.
I was
Go
gonna
ahead,
say
man.
the thing about Larian is there has been no
Forgot
developer
about Power.
that's making a CRPG game that has had 400 staff members across five different countries on a budget of like 150 million across 7 years, right?
Yeah.
The closest you probably get to is Pillars of Eternity, which is
There has
who?
Ty.
CRPG. Who?
Concord.
I would just stop.
Concord
I'm
had
talking
more
CRPG.
money. Concord had more money with more time, and that's what we got. So
Yeah,
what's up?
I mean, we're talking CRPGs though, and I
No,
think
no,
the closest you get is
Now you're qualifying it. Now you're
Oh,
qualifying it. If you go
why
back,
would I
if you
talk
go
about?
back, if you go back
But now Loki
to,
did say
to your
CRPG.
to your
That's
original assertion, you didn't
okay.
say CRPG. You said what
Okay,
developer?
yes.
That's all you said.
Yeah, we're making the
That's
CRPG. Yeah, I
I'm
don't
just
listen.
saying.
I don't even know if Concord costs more than Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm not even too sure about that, to be honest.
I don't,
But
dude. You know what? 400 million is a lot of money. That's all I'm gonna say.
it's a lot of money.
Even
I'll
yeah,
admit that.
but like I
But
would
like,
uh,
go ahead, man.
go ahead. No, I was gonna say like Loki's got a point. Like and you're right about CRPGs because this was a dead genre for the longest time. You only had like double A smaller games, and
Yeah.
this is a genre from 1998, 1997, and they brought it back, and they brought it back in spectacular fashion, and it became probably the go-to RPG, not just CRPG, the go-to RPG that made other developers turn around and look and say, geez, why aren't we, we can't make games like that even with our budgets because of the restrictions of like, the environments that we're working in. But it did change a lot of things, Ty, actually. Now that I think of it in retrospect, I think it's undeniable, its impact, but it was more felt in the PC space because that's where CRPGs or hardcore Western RPGs exist.
All right, fair enough. I'm gonna play it probably after Metaphor. Like it was basically the choice was between Metaphor or Baldur's Gate 3, and I have a thing for Japanese stories. I think they're quirky, weird, and they're just very different in comparison
I'm glad
to
Cozy is not here. Should be calling you a weeb right now.
why. What's wrong with Japanese stories?
Nothing wrong with them, but you can't say that that's your preference. Otherwise, start screaming weeb, weeb, weeb. Like I
No, don't get
found
me wrong.
one.
They're very strange, all right. Like for example, I would say, listen, CD Projekt Red tells better stories, side stories. I think Cyberpunk kind of showed that, and The Witcher's kind of showed that a
Yeah.
little bit as well. So
Yeah.
100%. But you there's something about the Japanese charm that you just can't really find anywhere else. It's just so weird. Yeah, that's just it. And I'm already seeing it in this game so far. Just like the random stories. Like there's some really bad story points, right? I'm talking to one of the characters, and she's telling me about one of her her friends, and he just randomly shows up, right? Like poor writing. He just shows up and he's just being an asshole. He's being racist and whatever it is, and he's gone. Like that's just bad writing. But there's a certain charm that these Japanese developers do in a way that you just kind of like ignore it and you just accept it for what it is.
It's bad writing, but it's charming.
Yeah.
What?
If I'm writing a story point and randomly I'm talking to you and I'm telling you about like, oh, my childhood friend was XYZ, and my childhood friend just randomly shows up like just in the alleyway when me and you are talking, and then he just starts being racist towards like people who still live in Africa or whatever it is. It's like, is that what we call a MacGuffin? It's just like trying to progress the story. It's so forced, right? Whereas I don't think you
But
can
Japanese stories seldom ever make any sort of narrative coherent sense. Like you also have to suspend disbelief in terms of just how people react.
Charming. But
yeah,
it's still charming
because the way they do it is so golly and so stupid that you just can't help but laugh. Like,
if you appreciate anime, you love it. Like I mean,
exactly,
if you grew up on Japan anime and all that stuff, you chill. Like that's your thing. But I think for most, like if you ask like a solid Rev to play that game, he'll probably spit in his mouth, or sorry, puke in his mouth a little bit, because I don't think like most there's that sort of player that's just not into that.
Yeah, like I mean, these like listen, let's not get it twisted yet. These guys are trying to save the world with the power of friendship. Like that's kind of what's going on here.
That's what's happening in Metaphor. Are you serious?
I mean, it's all about friendship and it's all about closing bonds, shaking hands with people, and like saving. It's very anime like.
Yeah, but that's very much Persona most.
Yeah, it's actually very Persona game. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I'll give you an example. Like even in Persona, like you have one of the characters, Anne, and she's supposed to be like the sexy girl who's dumb or whatever it is, and they just embrace that stereotype and they have her like half naked, like in her bikini, like handcuffed to some freaking dungeon, and you're like, what am I watching? And then when she transforms into a persona, she's some dominatrix. It's like, what are we doing? Like, what is this? Like it's just embracing the stereotype, and then she's kind of like she's obviously like she realizes she's like half naked or whatever, and then she's kind of covering up her body, but in the end she's like, oh, I have to fight anyway, and it's just so goofy, but you just have to love it. Like it's just so funny, it's cute, it's adorable, it's everything. And Japanese developers, they have a very, very unique way of making things, and that's why I don't want them to change. I want the Western developers, if we're going to break it down to West and East, I want the Western developers to keep making these kind of games, okay, Cyberpunk, whatever RPGs we have here, Starfield, and I want the West to make, I want the East to make the East, because I don't think the Eastern developers can make games that the Western developers make. And I don't think the West can make games that the East makes, because I think it's good that we have these unique perspectives on all these games, and let's just leave it that way.
Just do what you're good at. I like that.
You don't agree?
That is actual diversity. That is
actual like I agree. Like I don't have anything against that. It's just that like I wish the West would make more games that are aesthetically more pleasing to me than whoever they're supposed to be pleasing to now. Like to me, that makes no sense. But that's
telling me Cyberpunk is not aesthetically pleasing.
But again, I always tell you that those guys are like from like Ukraine. Where are they from? They're like from
Poland.
That's the West,
Eastern Europe. Yeah,
like, it's not. That is the West. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to break it to you, brother.
Where are those guys from?
Poland.
Poland.
Where's
like,
Poland?
Poland is like
as soon as you pass Russia, you're in the West. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we class them as Western developers. They're all Western. Like they're all influenced by the West.
I'm sorry.
Is Poland in Scandinavia?
Oh my goodness! Here we go.
Okay.
Richie says Japanese games still have the Shakespearean storytelling the West lost over the years, and is quite normal if you compare it to kanji from Persona 4.
Good point.
Poland is right in the middle of
I think Poland, could you call Poland Central Europe? I don't think
yes, it's right. It's Eastern Europe. Like those guys don't care about. Well, now apparently they do. But
are you sure, Ushers? Because I've seen some videos about ESG. So
about what? Yeah, recently now they foolish. Like I saw that stuff recently.
Well, we don't judge you on yesterday, brother. We judge
Yeah.
you on today. All right.
Fair. Fair enough.
So it's the West. It is the
Yeah,
West.
it's the
Anyway,
West. I think we're getting too much. We're getting too into details if we start to kind of divide it
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
It's the
It's the
West.
West, dude. Make peace with it, Oshas. It'll hurt less. Anyways, um, let's look at some. Let's have a laugh. Some basketball. This this got out of hand, but I think it's interesting for us to watch. Like guys, when you're playing, right? Whether it's video games,
Mhm.
whether it's basketball, just chill. Just chill. It's not that serious. Okay. Here we go.
Who-
Ham, I need
Yep.
you to listen to this. This will be fun.
I just came here because my girl told me about the park. I'm just trying to play basketball on a fucking Saturday. You coming at me with that negativity? I worked all week. I just came here because my girl told me about the park. I'm just trying to play basketball on a fucking Saturday. You coming at me with that negativity? I worked all week.
Fellas,
That's a lot.
I mean,
Yeah,
I feel him on that. I do. I understand where it's coming from. Sometimes you just want to like play basketball. Like you're not interested in the whole like you suck, your mad this, your daddy that, you can't hoop. Like no one's interested in that kind of nonsense. Just play, man. Shut up.
Is this you now sort of like subliminally rebutting culture war social media stuff?
No, not even. It's like, don't get me wrong. Listen, people can trash talk here, but if I'm like, I played basketball with like some random people before, right? And like, if you say, yo, can we play? I'm like, yeah, come through, let's play. And we all playing together. And then I miss a layup, and you're like, yeah, bitch, you suck. It's like, excuse me, like I don't know you. Like, what are you talking about? And then he just keeps going on and on and on. It's like, bro, just play the game. Like, let everyone have. Like, why are you talking shit for? Nah. I
Not that
get it.
serious.
I get it.
Not that serious.
Guys should stay away from lobbies.
What?
There's a
Yeah,
difference
obviously.
between talking shit and being a piece of shit. Like,
No,
like I'm always down for people talking shit. I'm 100% always down for people talking shit. Letting you know whatnot. But like, they start talking about your mama or your family members or like
Your girlfriend.
or just like just getting personal for no reason. Then like that's where I'm just like, all right, this isn't about basketball anymore.
Oh, about the video game that we're playing.
Any of that stuff. So like I agree with Ty on the sense of like, dude, like sometimes you just want to play. And if you and if it's a little shit talk, then let's keep it to the game. Talk
Yeah.
shit in the game about the game. Let's
About
not
the
talk
game.
about. Let's not talk about my car. Let's not talk about my wife. Let's not talk about my child. Let's not
Damn.
talk about things that are outside of the game. Because then you're just like, then you're not looking to like get into my head about the game. You're looking to just get me angry. There's a difference.
Yeah, I play Smash Bros like with a few guys, and like there's times where we talk smack or whatever it is in the game, but there's most moments where it's like, I don't know, you just like, bro, shut up, man. Like you just irritated me now. Like I remember I was playing this dude once, man, and I kicked his ass like 15 times, and on the 16th time he beat me, and the dude just like slammed the pound on the ground and just came up to me and was all like, yeah, I told you suck. Yeah. And I was like,
What?
and he just kept like talking crap. And I remember like I got so irritated. Like the phone was gone because now I'm pissed off. So now I have to kick his ass in the game. So now everything is just tense. And now no one's like laughing, no one's joking around. I'm like, bro, you just mess up the whole vibe with your anger and your trash talking. So now I understand sometimes. You just need to read the room basically.
Ushers, do you agree with Ham and Ty?
Like for me, the closest I get to that is like being in like COD, call it lobbies or any of these multiplayer games where some kid is just the whole time, talking shit, or they message you and all that kind of crap. I just ignore it. Like I get it, like like you're not into that. But yeah, man, like like, and especially if you're paying bills, dude. Like if you're a grown ass man, you've got real shit to deal with. You don't have time for this. Like it's not like that this is where people like sort of like lose it and and assault people is because of those reasons.
You do mute it though, like if you're on call lobby and someone's talking crap to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, but
Like,
you can't do that. You can't do that in the
like-
basketball court. You can't mute him.
No, but I'm never in the
deal with it.
basketball. So I'm a nerd, dude. I don't do stuff like
Okay, I've seen your gym pictures.
that. Well, what gym pictures?
I've seen them.
Oceans is going to the gym.
Wait, me.
Okay. All right. Anyways, so yeah, I just wanted to end the show on a little bit of a light note. Don't get too personal, people. It's just games.
Wait, did you say end the show? We're done already. Okay.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Like this will tell you a little bit. I just thought of this randomly. I'm sorry to interrupt, but
Okay.
you know how there's a ranking system in the game?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I've played the game enough to be rank 49.
Okay, I think you're way ahead of me then.
Yeah, I played this stupid.
Where do you start?
Are you finding the game easy, by the way?
In some aspects, no. Like I've been playing this game the entire time we've been on doing the show, and yeah,
Really?
I know.
How do you do that? I don't know. Like I can't play an RPG game. Like I can't multitask with an RPG game. It's impossible. I need to listen to the story. I need to listen to everyone talking. Like FIFA, yeah, sure. But
like I'm
RPG games?
really good at ignoring y'all. Y'all don't understand. Like you don't understand how good I am at just not listening to other people.
Thank you, Kai.
I'm very good at that.
I've been
My wife
shitting on
will
this man
attest
for
to you
years.
that I am a master at not listening.
Oh my goodness. I've been shitting on this guy for years, Ty. Like, dude, how do you play story-driven games and participate in the podcast? What are we doing?
Yeah,
there's captions. I can read
while people are talking and still carry on the conversation on both ends.
Yeah. I mean, it's not always easy, but I can do it.
Do you know, I think my issue with that is like, even if I catch it, it doesn't have the same impact. I need to be fully
right.
focused
It doesn't.
to hear the.
You're right. You're right on that. Like, I try not to do it. I try not to do it in big story moments. I usually try to do like side missions and stuff like that. Like right there, like the whole time I was just doing side missions right there. But I almost got cooked on this last side. The boss of the side mission was fucking me up, and I barely got out of there alive.
Are you enjoying the gameplay?
I rehealed all my guys, and then I had mad low MP magic power. And I was like, you know what? Let me try to get a little bit more credits. You know what I'm saying? And I just had it come to the wire on me with like a lion and a bunch of other fucking creatures like came up, and I started the fight, but they took me to the fucking 12. They took me to the last round right there, and it literally took the last strike with the last little bit of HP with the 1 out of 4 people that I have left to make it out of their life. You know how when the match is over and they're like heaving hard, like breathing all hard, like my bro was like bent to the side, like he was like completely just completely exhausted, and I just made it back to town and I'm turning in the missions right now. But you asked me, Vincent Vega is absolutely right. He says, yeah, Ham has no focus. He's absolutely right. I have zero. But yeah, you asked if it was easy or not, and I'd have to say, in times, it feels like I'm just running through it. Keep in mind, I'm doing a bunch of side missions and stuff, making sure I'm powerful, right? Yeah. So with that does come some ease, but the game will let you know that you ain't shit.
Mhm.
It'll remind you that, hey, you ain't like that now. You good, but you ain't like that. And
Not that good.
I think those are the moments that I think Loke would really appreciate in this game, where he just feels like he's just flipping the world upside down, and one motherfucker says, hey, come check me out.
Pause.
Come check me out.
Dude,
he just
when I-
beats the shit out of you.
Where I think Dark Souls games have
Back to
damaged
training.
my mind. Dark Souls has damaged my mind when it comes to these types of games, because when I find a challenge, I don't get like frustrated. I get kind of excited. I'm like, oh, finally, someone worth going to grind 24 more hours.
It's that Goku effect, right?
Yes.
Goku gets hit by somebody way stronger than him. He's like, oh, okay. Got it. I'll see you in a month.
Let's go. Let's go.
I'll see you in a month. That didn't feel good. I'm going to go hit this chamber real quick.
I'll be right back. Just give me a week. No problem.
100%.
I prefer the I'm not really crazy about going to go level up by fighting minions and stuff. I'm more interested in like, okay, let me look at like my potions, my items, let me look at like my strategy and tactics to see how can I take you down with the tools I have already. That's what really gets me going, as opposed to, leveling up.
Shit, I just got to that moment, right? Where I thought I was He-Man, and somebody was like, you ain't shit. So I had to dig into my grimoire. I was flipping them pages like, oh, that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? So you end up getting like no matter how strong you are, you will end up getting to that point where you're looking at your items. You're like, oh, I'm running low on some items now. And
I don't know. Like I can see myself in this game like spending 30 hours just leveling and upgrading the characters, just leveling and upgrading the character until it's like max of max. There's nothing else to level. It's like you're just wasting time, and then going back to the whole game and be like, all right, let's go.
There's always going to be something that you can keep leveling too, because like it's like as soon as you max out something, there's something else that needs to be leveled up, so then you can unlock something else, if that makes sense.
So could I go for like 100 hours just leveling up stuff up?
Well, see, like I want to say yes, but at the same time, like I said, things are like kind of done in like a 2 to 3 part day. Okay. So where and then like I said, certain missions have deadlines. So you can't just grind. Like you'll grind, and then like part of your day is over, and then you'll grind again, and then part of your day is over again, and then you have like maybe one thing left to do, or maybe it's going to the next day, and then you have to grind. Like it definitely what would you call it, Ty? Like categorizes or.
It's a sim game, so like
it limits what I can do. Essentially, this was made to negate people like me.
Kind of,
yeah, but the key thing here
it negates what your traditional level up style, but it definitely gives you enough time to be overpowered if you want to in certain aspects. But just because you're overpowered in one aspect doesn't mean every enemy type that you're gonna fight it's good for.
I'll give you an example, Look. So for example, if you
what's wrong with your mic? I think it's getting your camera mic.
I think you changed mics. No, you changed mics.
Okay, hold on. So that
yeah, when you came back, I think it switched the mic. StreamYard will do that once in a while.
Is it better?
Yeah. Yes. Go ahead.
Okay, I was saying, like, for example, Look, there's a character in the game, and so if you want to cook food and cook food, it gives you like crazy buffs, right? So that's gonna help you in the dungeon, help you with the bosses, right? There's a character in the game that if you level up her onto to like level 4, cooking food doesn't take a part of your day, a portion of your day. So the game is kind of put into 2 blocks, afternoon and evening. So if you
There
want
you
to
go. Yep.
then you gotta go straight to the evening, and then you're limited in what you can do. You can't do any dungeons or whatever it is. So for this character, if you level her up, and you do that by spending time with her, chilling with her, talking with her, all these things. Once you get to that level 4, she then gives you the ability to cook food without actually wasting your day. So you cook food on an afternoon, it's still the afternoon, so you can still do more things. So the question you got to ask yourself is, do I invest time in hanging out with her, chilling with her to get this really cool benefit, or do I keep doing the things and getting stronger? So the game makes sure that you have to balance how you spend your days, and there's beneficial reasons to do other things apart from just leveling up.
He nailed it.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah, you gotta pick. You gotta choose wisely.
Yeah. And you say you might level up really well, but you're gonna find yourself struggling on some elements, for sure. You get to some
Just
crazy
you don't
boss.
have
Food, you don't have access to the best potions, you can't buy the best gear. So it's about playing the game smart as opposed to playing the game hard.
Right. That's why I said, like, you can try to do one thing, overpower something, and realize it was a waste of fucking time. Like, if like that's why you guys follow what you're supposed to do and kind of pay attention to the palaces and what they kind of like the type of enemies and shit that are in there. Like, you kind of gotta like,
oh yeah, the resources,
really focus on.
Yeah, like before I went to this dungeon,
on strategy.
Before I went to this dungeon, I was talking to a few people, and they were giving me tips on how to, oh, that dungeon has, these kind of crazy monsters. Be careful. I'm able to then go to the shop and stock up on potions and whatever it is, but I don't have enough money, so I go do something else, get some more money, and then I go to that dungeon. And when I got to that final boss, I was able to then use the potions and all the attributes I got earlier to finish that that mission. If I didn't do all this preparation beforehand, get to that boss, he smacks me, I didn't have to return back home. So that day is gone. I've got to that location, but I've wasted the day trying to kill that boss, and I didn't succeed. So plan ahead, look at the calendars, and just kind of make sure that you're organizing your time really well.
Okay, last question. If you level up in the wrong skill set, can you unlevel it and put those points to something else, or is that done?
No, just make a lot of saves like every other RPG. Make a lot of saves. Save it before you do something. I always like right before I go into like a dungeon or a palace or whatever they want to call it in this game, I save it. Yeah. The game has autosave. The game has auto-saving functions in certain areas that will save it for you. But like, you're about to make a decision that you're not sure about. You're about to level up something. You're about to put levels into something that you're not sure if it's beneficial. Save it right before you do that. So then when you get into the battle, you're like, oh, that shit didn't work. Purposely lose it. Go back to your save.
Yeah, I mean, I would even say one thing that Sega's doing really well with this game is like if you go on YouTube and you type in, like tips or whatever it is, the first thing you're gonna see is a lot of these YouTubers, very small YouTubers, are gonna say like, oh, thank you to Sega and Alice for sponsoring this video, and that's a really interesting push because I'm seeing that a lot. And I'm guessing that the reason I'm seeing that is because Sega and Atlas, they know that this is not maybe your traditional type of RPG systems, right? They want to reach a wider audience, and they don't probably want to go back on their vision. So what you do is you just pay all these YouTubers and say, hey, make all these tips, on how to play the game.
Understand what's going on.
Exactly. And they're doing a really good job because I'm seeing a lot of people in the comment section who've never played these games before saying like, oh, thank you for this. Okay, this is gonna be good, blah blah blah. And even me as well, I got some really good tips that allows me to not basically waste my my magic or waste my skill point,
and then get frustrated. It reminds me of what was it called? Elden Ring. Reminds me of Elden Ring.
Yeah.
How a lot of it was people telling you like do this and don't do that. And if it wasn't for all those guides, a lot of us would have quit. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't mind going into a game like, without tips, whatever. But when it's something like an RPG game like this, where you're gonna start leveling up in certain areas, I don't want to make those mistakes. I'm okay with that. If it's a Zelda Breath of the Wild, yeah, sure, whatever.
Simple enough. If
Yeah.
it's Zelda, it's simple enough.
Yeah, just I mean, like I said earlier, just don't be afraid to ask for help from somebody if this is your first time running through it or something like that. Like, you're gonna make mistakes. Like, there's nobody. I mean, you could probably be like a really, really good, like, know exactly everything that you need to do in this game. You'll probably still make a mistake. Like, it's a huge game. So just like Starfield or any other RPG, use your saves a lot. Ask people if you get lost in some area. I hopped on and watched Matt Likes games play because he was playing it for a little while. He actually enjoys the game, and he was on this part and he was wondering why just like nothing was working, and I had to show him stuff that he didn't realize that he had to help him be able to defeat the boss a lot easier. And for a
Yeah.
minute he just didn't get it, and it wasn't his fault, but it also really wasn't the game's fault because the game tells you how to do it. But if you're impatient, you're just gonna go right through. You're like, when they're showing you examples, you're just gonna click through it.
Oh, I think the
Right?
game also has a really good tutorial system where you can go into the sands and just I go there a good bit just to rehash my memory, like, okay, this means this means that. And whenever they teach me something new, I come across something new, I just try it out straight away because I want like that muscle memory, like, okay, I've done this before, so I don't have to forget it. So I'll just say have fun with it, experiment with it. But also keep in mind, it's probably just not for everybody. It's a very different kind of game. You might not like the story, you might not like the characters, and you might not like the gameplay. You might not like the way that it's quite slow as well. So not everyone's gonna like it. But it is a unique. If you haven't played the Persona games, it's a very, very unique game. A lot of charm, and it's so damn stylish. The menu systems, the music, everything about this game just screams artistic vision. It's a really
It doesn't get boring.
boring. No, it doesn't get boring. No, it's interesting, but I think that's dependent on the story and the gameplay. If you don't like the gameplay, and if you don't like the calendar system, you don't like this idea of like, oh, I gotta go talk to you to increase my wisdom, and that's the day gone. Boring. Like, if these concepts you don't like, you don't enjoy them, then no, because it's very, very different from a typical RPG game. It's different from Elden Ring, different from Cyberpunk. Like, it's completely the opposite. So, like one of my guys, he's a huge Western RPG, Bethesda, CD Projekt Red, all these guys. He doesn't really like these games. He doesn't think they're like that interesting. He thinks the story isn't as good, and he's right. The story is so different. Like, the stories are very corny, quirky. If you're a serious person, then you're not gonna probably enjoy these kind of games.
But the calendar system, it actually makes sense. Because if you guys remember Fallout 4, people used to meme about the fact that you come out of spoilers for Fallout 4. You come out of the cryostasis, they've taken your child, and you're running up and down doing a whole bunch of other things instead of going to look for your child. Like, does that really make sense? A normal situation would be what happens in these types of games where time actually moves in one direction, and each day and each night that goes by is actually meaningful, and you're moving forward. It doesn't feel like the whole universe has stopped for you to specifically grind Mirelurk meat or whatever just so you can level up this specific perk, and then you can go and look for your son.
Nope. You're exactly right. Look, it's like, yo, you better figure this shit out within this week, or you lose.
Yeah, because the shit's gonna get real, dude. V gets infected with again Cyberpunk. Spoilers for anyone that doesn't want to hear. V gets infected with whatever it gets infected with, and essentially it is gradually taking his or her life. But you can run around doing all types of stuff, and every time you press pause, the virus is not getting worse. It's still exactly where it was because you haven't interacted with the main story. So that dissonance is completely destroyed, or it is actually made like proper in this type of game.
I'm thinking like if you were to implement this kind of calendar system in a Western game, right? I think you'd have to be a cross between a Mass Effect or BioWare game meets the like a Red Dead Redemption 2. You're gonna have to have all these other activities that you can do apart from just story missions. So maybe play pool with your partners, which will increase like their stats as well, like your friendship with them. Things like maybe go racing with them, do their specific missions, and obviously you
Or
have your
hunting
daylights
with
like
them.
hunting with them. Like you're gonna make it more sim. Like I don't know if Western guys RPG guys are gonna like that because when you play a game like Skyrim, what you really enjoy is the freedom. You don't like this restriction, right? When you play a game like The Witcher as well, same thing. You like the freedom. You don't want restrictions. Same thing for Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk.
Even Obsidian games, right? Pillars of Eternity. You don't. No one's really thinking about these kind of restrictions. So it's
Starfield.
gonna
Starfield. You
Starfield as
can
well.
just play.
Starfield's like
You just play as
one
a
of the
bounty
biggest
hunter and
culprits
you're
of
good.
that.
Yeah. Starfield.
It's like
you
you don't have to do shit ever.
for 1,000 hours and you're good. Like me, for
Exactly.
example, like one of the reasons why I'm still avoiding Starfield is because my greatest fantasy of being a spacefaring bounty hunter is actually possible in Starfield, and I can do it for hundreds of hours. That's a bit scary.
Yeah. Yeah, it just wouldn't work with Starfield, or because can you imagine like the first time you play Starfield, it's like okay, you have like 20 days, aka 60 hours to beat the final boss, and you're thinking, are you crazy? Like I need to go do this, I need to go do that, I want to explore these thousands of planets. Like you can't tell me the game's over after 60 hours. Like that's just not how it works. So yeah, you're gonna have to change the fundamentals of a Western game.
Isn't that from Majora's Mask? I think that whole concept of time is running out, and you.
I don't think it was the first one to do that, but yeah, Majora's Mask does do that.
Could you not go back in time in Majora's Mask? Yeah.
It was more about the masks, and no, the thing is you're running out of time. So the moon is gonna like a moon like with a face is gonna crash on the planet, and you have an X amount of time to get everything done to save the world, etc. I'm not sure if it had like because I finished Ocarina of Time, and Ocarina of Time has a time element. They will link ages, etc. But I don't remember that from Majora's Mask though.
I thought with Majora's Mask, you play the ocarina, the flute, and then it will reverse back time because the the moon's gonna crash in every day, so you have to keep doing it on a regular basis. From my memory, anyway.
Yeah, you're right. That's exactly how that mechanic works.
Yeah, but listen, I wouldn't want Western developers to look at this and be like, "Oh, we want to implement this." I wouldn't mind if an indie developer took it on board, and then we kind of see how it pans out. These games are good for what they are. They have the charm, and if you wanted to play a game that has the same time element, what is Persona 3 Reloaded and there's Persona 4 as well, there's Persona 4, like they're all there. Like there's options to play these kind of games.
And Silent Hill 4 as well. Your apartment is deteriorating and it's getting in a worse state every single time you sort of finish a mission. So you have to sort of like make sure that you do all the things that you're supposed to. It's like this portal you go to, you can only use an X amount of time. If you use it too much, then you fuck up the end game. You won't finish the game. You need to use it sparingly and get all the stuff that you need from the other dimension before your world deteriorates.
What's the Silent Hill 4?
Silent Hill 4 on PS2.
Oh, I okay. I'm not a big Silent Hill guy, but all right. It's a nice little throwback there. On the game that Kojima used to make, there's no such time constraints. Anyways, let's end the show. Speaking of time, right? Speaking of time, Tai, please plug your stuff. Tell people where they can find you, etc., etc.
So you guys can find me at Taye Talks, TayeTalks on YouTube. No videos coming anytime soon, at least not this week, just because I'm playing I'm playing Metaphor, and I'm gonna keep going at that. There is a possibility that I might take a short break to make a Starfield video on Shattered Space, because there's a good bit to talk about that game. It's not as bad as everyone makes it seem, to be honest. If you look at it from a financial perspective, then yeah, sure, maybe the 20 $35 whatever you paid for it was probably too much, but overall it's an okay DLC. It's not special, 7 out of 10. So I might make a video just talking about the details of that. That will be on Tire Talks, TAYETALKS, and I'll probably upload
Did
it.
You finish it?
Yeah, I finished it. Yeah, I thought it was okay. I
Okay,
thought it was
cool.
good.
My bad. Continue.
I'll probably upload it on X as well. I'm probably gonna start uploading all my videos on X as I make them, but we'll see.
All right. Ushers, plug your stuff.
So you can find me on X or Twitter, Oshus or Oz the Wiz. I've also got a channel, but I'm just working on content, and it's just taking a while getting used to the
DM me
editing.
your channel, because I can't find it on Twitter, on YouTube. DM
on
it to
YouTube,
me, please.
I'll DM it to you. But yeah, so that I'm hoping, I wanted to have something done last weekend, but I'm struggling to find like a good sound, like good background music to sort of like help with the narration. But yeah, so that's my channel. It's Oz the Wiz, and I'm also Oz the Wiz or the Wiz on X, and you can also find me on Facebook, on Xbox Players South Africa or XPSA. Yeah, I'm a moderator there.
He's infiltrated, ladies and gentlemen.
I know, right?
Traitor to the green. Anyways, plug.
Yeah, straight up infiltration going on over there. But anyways, yeah. So I appreciate everybody for showing up. Thanks, Ashis and Taye, for being here as usual for our Monday show. As I had said last Friday, I'm not doing my Thursday football game thing right now. I'm gonna try to focus more on just something that I'm more comfortable with doing every Thursday on that day. But other than that, I'm gonna keep enjoying the hell out of Metaphor. I'm loving the game so far. And that's pretty much all from me. We'll check you out tomorrow, I believe. Loke's gonna be doing his football manager thing. Is that right?
I'm thinking about doing a reaction stream to the Xbox showcase or the partner program, whatever.
Sure. Well, let me know if you're doing that, and I'll hop on with you for a little bit.
All right, good stuff. Taye, Oshus, you guys are also welcome tomorrow.
No, Oshus ain't welcome. Oshus ain't welcome.
Shit on the whole thing.
I mean, I gotta hold the line at some point.
Yeah,
I'm gonna hold the line right there.
You guys are not gonna have fun.
You keep doing your Xbox thing from Africa, that little corner that you're in, and we're gonna cover the stuff for the people that care.
So much hate
for the people that still believe.
Yo, anyways, yeah.
Just a quick question for everyone here. Call of Duty drops on Game Pass. How many subscribers do you think it brings in? I mean, you don't have to answer now. You can answer maybe next week or something. I'm just interested in people's idea.
I'm thinking 5 million right now. I'm thinking 5 million people are going.
I was going to say 10. I was going to say 10 by the end of this generation.
I think 5 right now, because we forget that COD had $1 billion day one. They made $1 billion day one with the last COD. Was it day one or in the first week? One of the two. Regardless, they made $1 billion.
I think it was like in 4 days.
Regardless, Ham, they made $1 billion.
Yeah, it's crazy. It doesn't matter.
That's insane. You telling me there's not a like 10% of those people going to be like, dude, I'm just going to go on Game Pass. You think so? Come on, guys.
They'll definitely
I
be
think so.
I think so. Come on, guys.
There'll definitely be a spike.
No,
There's
no,
no
no.
reason for it not to be, especially for as many people that hop on the Call of Duty and say, "Damn it, like they got me again," and stuff like that.
Yes.
I wonder if me and Ushers have the same opinion on this.
It could be like the thing is we don't know. Hey, like it's so difficult to predict.
We don't. That's why we're guessing.
Like the thing is, like so even with a guess, you sort of have something to go on. And
Yeah,
in
this is my problem as well.
There's
I
no
think
data.
if we knew exactly how many people Starfield brought in and how many people
Yeah,
Diablo brought in
and
from a
that's the
numbers
problem with my
perspective, you could gauge from that.
Let me
Everything
tell
else
you why
is
it's
really
different.
hard.
Let me tell you guys why it's different. Call of Duty, FIFA, NBA 2K, these annual games, they are the Game Pass games. These are the games that should be on subscriptions and will get the most people to subscribe. Because the people that buy FIFA, they don't have a love for FIFA 2016 and they're going to randomly pop it into their console. They're not going to randomly pop in FIFA 2010. The people that love FIFA just want to play the latest FIFA. That is all.
That's an unfortunate fact because every year Matt Likes Games buys the new NBA and he makes fun of himself while he does it. But he needs to have the latest roster.
And if 2K had a subscription, if they had a subscription service that had NBA 2K, football 2K, whatever, like a line of 2K games that came out every single year, do you think Matt would be like, no, I need to own my 2K games? Or is Matt like, dude, I just want to play the latest one with the latest rosters, kits, etc.?
I think he'd just eventually just get it on the subscription service because they're just kind of, especially with ownership and it being so well known that you don't own shit.
You don't own it. Steam even has to change their policy. You don't buy
exactly
on Steam anymore.
Buy to play or like purchase, I think is what what was the, I forgot, it said something smooth that me and Loke seen it and we're like, yo.
It says something very clever. Very clever.
Yeah, right. So yeah, it was nice, smooth, and clever. But yeah, 100%. And I'd be right there with them, right? Because I would rather at a point it seems ridiculous. Because it's just like, all right, well, when I'm done playing football, would I rather pay $5 to $10 a month and have all of the sports games, or even like $15-$20 a month? Let's go up there. To have all the sports games constantly getting updated. I'd say yes, but I'd also want to know their plan on updating and what that means and what making sure I don't have to pay into a new game after that. You see what I'm saying?
If EA Play, right? EA Play right now is kind of tight with Xbox. If EA Play was like, subscribe to EA Play and you will get Madden, FIFA, and NBA Live every year. Just keep subscribing to EA Play.
Yeah. If they made new games every year, I could see why people would do that. I mean, people do that already right now. Their new game year is like the Super Bowl year. It's like around the time the Super Bowl comes out. That's when the current year Madden comes out. Like every year on the Game Pass is like about the Super Bowl.
Somewhere around the Super Bowl, or late into the playoffs.
That is the next year for a lot of people. They'll just play the old one until then and continue on their subscription. I mean, why not?
And you're good.
Why not? Like if you ain't got it like that, why wouldn't you do that?
Or if you do what I do, which is you only play it for the campaign, it's not worth $60. And then the recent one, I just found out that the campaign is one season, Ty. There's a story for the one season. And then when you restart the season, do you know what happens? Do you know what happens, Ty?
What happens?
The exact same story plays out again.
It's really just like any other subscription service. Are you done playing right now, or unsubscribe? Like you can be somebody that spent an unfortunate like $200 that year because you were subscribed every single month, or you could have been like, I played it when it came out and had a blast with it and got rid of it 2 months later and only spent like $20 or $30.
As simple as that. Yeah.
Then it's up to you. I mean, I agree though with Loke when he says like football, all these sports games are and like battle royale type or like just FPS multiplayer games. A lot of those they're pretty much service games. I mean, they're by title service games already.
Yeah.
So why not put it in a service?
COD itself is a service game.
I think if Xbox wants I think a really big play for them, I think numbers wise, would be getting a game like FIFA, EA FC on the Game Pass. I mean, like the actual like
that
title
would
games.
Change the game. Dude.
Yeah, that a lot of people are gonna be interested in that for sure.
Yo, Ty, if
my most played Game Pass game is FIFA.
EA for that to happen.
Day one, not day one, dude. If they could. Because
you can play it day one on EA Play when it comes out, but on Xbox,
you have to. You can't do it on Xbox.
No, you can't.
The EA would you would have to pay them out a lot of money for that to happen.
No, but and that's the thing. I don't know how they section it off, because when you pay for Game Pass Ultimate, you also get EA Play.
No, so there's two versions of EA Play. There's EA Play and there's EA Pro. Pro is the day one games. So Pro is not on. Pro is not on Xbox or Game Pass. Now, if you're talking about PC only. That's the difference there. But the thing is, like, EA is probably could be open to it, but it's just gonna cost a lot of money. And it might be
you
worth
know what
it.
kills me, Ty? You know what kills me? And I know we should have ended the show, but still, fuck it. I'm gonna be cautious for the next 5 seconds. You have all the money in the world, dude. Pay for the biggest game in the world. FIFA is the biggest game on the planet. You don't have to like that fact. You don't have to like it. You have to be a fan. But business-wise, right? Business-wise, that's the game, dude.
Do you know who's to kind of blame for this or blame
for
that?
Sorry, Ty. Sorry. Not just FIFA. Get FIFA and Madden day one on Game Pass.
Yeah, those would be huge for it.
That would change the narrative.
I think the problem here is like there's blame to go around for this, and it's just strategy as well. So it's not really blame as well. It's just like what they wanted to do. The problem is like Satya Nadella obviously gave Phil Cerebon like, here's the budget. do what you think is good for Game Pass or whatever it is. Xbox could have bought EA instead of probably Bethesda. Instead of getting all these other games, they could have curated the system to get maybe specific games instead of getting this wide range of games. So their strategy is what they made of it, and so I do think there's a different alternate timeline where there's FIFA on Game Pass, there's Final Fantasy on Game Pass, there's all these games on Game Pass. It's just the guys at the Xbox feel they all made different decisions. And I think the unfortunate thing is those decisions didn't really pan out. Like, as much as I think getting Bethesda was a really good deal, it hasn't benefited Xbox in the way that I think they thought it would have. Because obviously you lost Ghostwire Tokyo, you lose Deathloop, and then the only games you have is Redfall, flop, and then you have Starfield, which is a good game, but they didn't hit the way they probably wanted it to hit. So really, from the Bethesda acquisition, you haven't really gotten anything that's done any substantial numbers for your console. Starfield probably from a Game Pass perspective, but I think that even maybe underachieved for them. And the next big Bethesda title that you're getting is Doom, and that's everywhere. So it's quite unfortunate.
Oshis, I don't want to hear a word out of you. I don't want to hear a single word on this topic out of you. Yeah.
If they had bought Bethesda 3 years prior,
Yeah.
I think we might be in a different situation here, because then you have all these games come out beforehand, and you can manage Bethesda better, and I think things change a little bit more. But unfortunately, they got them. Even ABK. If you bought ABK 3 years before, 4 years before, like the deal goes through, I think you have a very different Xbox. You have one that's more cocky.
Dude,
you have all these day one games.
If the Series X was launching day one with Call of Duty exclusive, the amount of Xboxes that would have sold.
Yeah. Even think about it from an ABK point of view, you get in the Crash games, you get in Diablo 4. That, like, Diablo 4, even though it came out on PS5, Xbox, and PC, it was Game Pass's biggest launch title. And that's a game that came out a year before. So you can already guess how many subscribers you would have gotten if it was exclusive to Xbox and it released day one on Game Pass. Like, that would have been huge for them. But unfortunately, all these acquisitions came a little bit too late to kind of keep Xbox a little bit more focused.
I disagree with you. There's no time like the present. At least they got them. Now they just have to manage it. Ron Slasher, you're messy for this. Says Black Ops 6 is going to make up for all the acquisitions.
No.
That's almost $80 billion, dude. Chill.
Yeah, no.
That's a lot of money, dude.
We ain't there yet, man.
That's for one game? No. That's a lot of money. All right, anyway, I said 5 million. Ham said 10 million. Oshus, how many subscribers are going to join Game Pass thanks to Black Ops launching on Game Pass day one?
Maybe.
Yes.
3 to 5 million at the most.
3 to 5.
Yeah. I'll go with 3, actually. Let me say 3. Let me be conservative. And I'm talking about console now. I'm not talking about all this other ancillary Game Pass stuff like PC Game Pass and cloud on on Android now and stuff like that.
PC Game Pass is not Game Pass.
I'm just talking about. I don't care about all that other stuff with Game Pass.
Hold on. PC Game Pass is not Game Pass.
I don't think that's
segmenting the service.
Am I crazy, guys? Am I crazy?
That's wild.
Ty, Ham, am I crazy?
No. Game Pass is everything. It's PC, Xbox.
What are we doing?
Cloud.
I mean, that's the whole point of what Sony's trying to do on PC.
Yeah, but I mean,
MAUs is the only thing that matters.
Look, like PC Game Pass is almost non-existent. Android Game Pass.
Wait, hold on. If we ask you right now, how many subscribers does Game Pass have? What would you say?
About 35 million last time I checked.
Yeah, but that includes PC Game Pass and cloud gamers, right?
Minute that they probably like.
No, it's not minute. PC Game Pass was supposed to be is Xbox's fastest growing subscription service. It's the reason why they increase the price on the console because the console isn't growing. It's the PC that's growing.
I'm just talking.
PC is the one that's
answer the question.
The PC is bringing them the money. It's not the console ones. That's maxed out. The PC is Phil said
it. So how many subscribers? Ty, how many subscribers?
We don't know yet, but if I was to say let's say
alone, I'm telling you the number is 35 million, and I'm saying to you that 85 to 90% of that is on console, not on PC, and that is why games like Starfield. No, but like. Games like Starfield sell more on Steam, not on PC Game Pass.
What's that have to do with what he's saying? Like, what's that have to do with Game Pass number? Like, what?
So, how many subscribers are on PC Game Pass? You guys don't have the number, but you're telling me I'm wrong.
I'm one of the subscribers to PC, the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. I'm one of the PC players. But
how many subscribers do they have on PC versus console?
That's what like time out. How would you even differentiate that? Because let's say 15 million of the users are on Ultimate. You don't know how they're playing.
You can monitor what they're playing on PC.
No, come on, man. What are you talking about? So like if I play so just me myself, If I
Yeah.
play on my console Starfield and then hop on Xbox Play Anywhere, Starfield, or Metaphor, whichever one you want to use, because they both play on Xbox and on PlayStation. But let's go with Starfield because that's in Game Pass in particularly. What the fuck are they monitoring?
But what I'm asking you is,
I played on my console a lot. I played on my PC a lot. Starfield in particular. Tae already knows Starfield is dumb on PC. That's where you play it.
yes, and most people
it's pretty good on console, but that update ain't. That's so.
Most
like,
people play it.
I'm not understanding your math for this and why it needs to
the way you're
be
getting this information.
in asterisks or highlighted that hey, this is only on console, especially when your own when one of your main competitors is already went on ahead and started to do what you're doing. Why would you then jump backwards again?
Sony does not have a footprint at the moment. Like they don't even have their app out yet.
The reason that they made all this kerfuffle is for that, though.
Fine, I'm not denying that. I'm just saying how many people actually play.
Then why would we cut off? Well, my question to you is why would we cut off part of what matters if the other company already acknowledged that it matters?
Okay, fair enough. This is what I'm saying. If you take, just because again, when they count those numbers now, they even include Game Pass Core, and you're still sitting at something like 35 million, and that's the last number that we got from them. And I'm telling you right now, a lot of, because first thing that every single PC player will complain about is the garbage app that they have for Xbox on PC. That is why everybody buys their games on Steam or on GOG. Nobody uses Primary unless it's a specific game. Even a big game like Starfield, you're still getting more people playing it on Steam. That is why I say I don't count that number because it's insignificant. But if you want to include
it, then because I'm one of the people that does play it on that. Why am I insignificant?
I have Ultimate. Okay, fair enough. I have Ultimate too.
Mr. Insignificant. That's your new nickname, Ham. Mr. Insignificant.
If we had, okay, fine, I'll humor you guys. If we had to include PC Game Pass and Android, I'll raise my initial 3 million to 4 million. That's how unimportant it is. That's the only point I'm making.
1 million. Wait, hold on. Sorry, like 1 million more subscribers paying €20 a month is insignificant.
To me, yes. In the bigger picture of things.
No, but like to Xbox, yeah, 1 million more subscribers paying. Like, so can we do those maths right now? Like 1 million subscribers paying $20 a month.
So what are we comparing against, though?
No, like growth. Like we're talking about, like like is this important? Like is Microsoft in a situation where they say like, hey, listen, 1 million more subscribers is
let's be real here. This, you know why it's insignificant? Because you, as a console maker, are saying you're willing to ignore 200 million console players because you want to create an app that is going to court the billion people that play on other devices. So 1 million is nothing to you if you're trying to attract 1 billion people. That's
but
what
are you still making 1 million, Oshus? Are you still making?
That's nothing to Microsoft. What's 1 million subscribers to Microsoft? I want the price of bread.
No, we got to.
You got all these storefronts like Epic, like GOG, like all these other storefronts would die for what you're talking about.
How many?
Just doesn't mean shit to you. That is wild.
It doesn't. Steam has 155 million subscribers or users. Nobody's bigger than Steam.
120.
You don't think if Ubisoft Plus seen 1 million people subscribe to their shit tomorrow, they would not be outside talking about it.
How many people subscribe to them on Epic and then that game still bombed? Outlaws. And they released it exclusively on Epic.
You're missing my point. You don't think it'd be a big deal to Ubisoft if they sold another 1 million of subscribers tomorrow?
To them, maybe it would be.
I mean, like, what? I think we're talking about 240 million and an extra in your pocket. That's that's something.
$250 million.
That's how much they pay for a Game Pass license. To license a couple of, just to give developers to put games on Game Pass. Steam has 132 million.
Well, hold on. Well, 240 million is like how much is Spider-Man 2 cost? 300 million. Like that's not even a full game, right? So there you go. Like now you get a AAA game for free. You know, like it's something. It's significant for sure.
I don't think it's significant to Microsoft because again, that 240 million is not even going to touch the amount they've spent to put Game Pass out there. It's nothing. It's a drop in the ocean. These guys are trying to get 1 billion players. That's why they don't care about console sales. That's all I'm saying is that if they cared about 1 million players, then they would care about moving.
You're telling me that they wouldn't care about getting $214 million per month.
Yes.
You're telling me that they wouldn't care about that.
So fair
per
enough.
month.
Okay, so Ham, fair enough.
$250,000 per month. You saying that ain't shit?
To Microsoft, it ain't shit.
Oh, come on, man.
Like, if it was important to them, Ham, why don't they want to sell consoles?
If it's as unimportant as you're making it seem, why haven't they just quit?
I think they sort of have, in my opinion, but like that's just my perspective.
Really? Yeah. You think they have? That's wild.
Look, like on consoles, I believe they've quit. They're trying to grow Game Pass, but I just don't see them growing it on PC when the competition is so tough. On PC, you have better ways to run your PC games, way better than running them on that app. And I'm saying to you, the footprint of that app right now is very insane. I've not seen the numbers given to say, and when Microsoft is confident about they're winning or that they have a successful product, the first thing they tell you is how much money they're making off that specific end, or they tell you how much they're selling. They have not said a single thing about the growth of PC Game Pass. They just said it's grown a lot. Same thing that Phil Spencer says when he's being challenged.
I actually agree with you in the sense that most of the players are probably on console, but I think in 2022 Phil Spencer said the PC Game Pass had grown year over year 150%. Now what is that? Is that like from 1 million to 2 million to 5 million? We don't really know. But even if let's say the PC Game Pass makes up to 20% of the users, that is still revenue that you bring in. That is still that's still the player base. And I think the important thing here is also like from a future perspective, right? And we know, according to Jazz and some other guys right there, that Microsoft is talking to Steam, and we know even Gabe himself said, we wouldn't mind putting Game Pass on Steam. So if you can circumvent making players go to the Game Pass app to get these games, and they go on Steam and there's 2 buttons: buy or play via Game Pass, I think that's going to be huge for them. But obviously that's future talk. But just on this particular topic, 1 million additional subscribers is something, because when Xbox loses 1 million Game Pass subscribers, that is a significant problem that they have. We've just lost 1 million Game Pass subscribers. So why won't gaining 1 million Game Pass subscribers be a good thing? It might not reach the numbers that they want, aka 80 million, but the numbers all make sense. That money that you're getting is enough to greenlight another potential Game Pass game. For example, let's say Metaphor, right? You say, put it on Game Pass. Here's the COD money from that 1 million subscriber that Usher says is irrelevant. 240 million. Here you go. Your game costs 100 million to make. We're giving you 240 right now to put on Game Pass, and we'll give you bonuses with it. Like, all these things add up to make a good cohesive ecosystem that is successful.
Hey, and just one thing to throw on there. Let's say PC Game Pass is only 20%.
That's a huge
of Game Pass. That's probably what it probably is looking more or less like, to be honest.
Yeah, I would agree.
Or let's say 20% is Android and PC. Let's just say that.
Oh, keep in mind, Microsoft did say that 10% of their total play hours comes from cloud gaming as well. So that's people who are probably on PC who probably don't want to have a good PC, so they have to play via cloud. That's a possibility as well.
So let's track on what I'm saying real quick. That's $60 million per month for 20% of Game Pass. Over the year, that's $720 million. I just don't see any part of this that's insignificant.
I think in the greater scheme of things, it's very much insignificant. That's a negligible number to Microsoft. And I go back to my point is that if you are trying to get 1 billion players, if your goal is you saying that your current market, The reason you're not investing more money into consoles is because that market is tapped out at 200 million and you don't see growth for yourself there. And you're aiming for 1 billion players and you're happy to move the needle with a little 1 million. To me, that is horrible business considering you've invested 80 something billion into that business. Then that is a flawed business model. You've put more money in there and you've got no guarantee that you hoping for 1 million, a little. No, that's not good enough.
But just think about it this way: like, obviously, they're gonna segment it into, okay, let's say arguments say they're segmented into console players, PC players, and cloud game players. That is significant growth then for the PC side of things, or maybe the cloud side of things, right? I would say, for example, Microsoft announced today that Call of Duty is going to be on cloud, and I went straight to the to the Reddit page, and all the Game Pass players are happy now because they always saw cloud as something that Microsoft is falling down in a little bit, and COD was going to be that game that was going to help them push cloud, because now if you're in Brazil, if you're in Eastern Europe, if you're in places where you can't get that console, you can probably just boot it up on cloud and play it. I can't remember where I saw this, but somewhere that I think Phil said that cloud allows them to reach places where people normally don't buy Xboxes. And I think in the East, what he also said was that they have more people signing up to the Xbox ecosystem via cloud than people actually buying the consoles. So in their mind, they're like, people ain't even buying the consoles anymore in Asia. They just sign up via cloud. So when you pull a game like Game Pass, I know Game Pass is going to do well in the East, but if that's going to work in, let's say, places like maybe Brazil and South America, then those are significant growth markets that is going to be attractive.
So look, since we don't have data, I'll concede and say, okay, guys, so fine, I'll package PC Game Pass and console Game Pass. Again, I don't think the other is as significant, and we can, let's not get, okay, fine. Overall, I'm saying 3 to 4 million max is what they'll probably get. And most of it will probably then, because I believe that the Xbox, what they have on Xbox is tapped out. So it'll probably be people coming from, I don't know. It has to be that. And again, that's where I just look at that and I say that to me, that looks incredibly impossible in terms of like everyone, you can play PC games on so many different places better than you can on that app on Xbox. And that's just my contention and my experience with that. But a lot of people own Game Pass Ultimate. Maybe that's where that will come from.
I wonder how much the casual players are willing to just actually play the Xbox app, because I mean I have it and it's not that deep. I know it's all these hardcore PC people that are like so staunch on Steam. These is like moan bags. But to me, it's like, listen, I'm gonna download an app to play a game. Like, like my casual friends who are PC gamers, like they downloaded Epic to play Alan Wake 2, but I talked to these hardcore gamers and they were like, I refuse to download Epic. And I'm like, you're such a loser. Like, get over yourself. It's just a freaking application. It's not that deep, bro. So I think Game Pass will get some. Yeah, I don't get these people. Like, it's so weird. Like, you see one of them message the guys from guys who made Alan Wake 2. Shit, what's her name?
It's that deep for one reason.
Why?
And that's if you're all inclusive.
What do you mean?
What I'm saying is, if you're only trying to use one thing, and maybe that one thing works for your Steam Deck without you having to mess with it, works with everything else.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
Then yeah, I'd complain if something came onto a different launcher that's not native to the thing that I own, right? When everything else seems to come there.
Yeah, I mean, I can get
but at
that.
the end of the day, I do feel what you feel, where it's just kind of like, for me, it's a shoulder shrug, right? It's just like, whatever, I'll just play it on a different place, I guess.
It's the same game, yeah.
But it's insane.
It
that,
is
like,
easier if it's all in one place.
Like if you're a console, like I always say, like console players will, Legend of Zelda will come out, and console players will literally go out to the shop, they'll purchase the console, and they'll pay for it, $300, $200. They'll bring it back home, put it in under the TV, plug it up, let it take up space. They'll go to a whole new Nintendo ecosystem to play the game that's the game of the year. But some of these Steam players are like, no, I can't download an app. what are we talking about? Like, they're just a bunch of weirdos. I've spoken to them before.
Me
Freaks.
as a console refugee, like I ran away from the consoles. I'll only boot up my PS5 and my Series X when absolutely necessary. As a console refugee, I can't. I feel exactly the same way you do, Ty.
Yeah.
Why not? Like, it's just a freaking app, bro.
Yeah. It's
You are
not that
free.
deep.
On PC, you are literally free. You can do whatever the hell you want. You have all 5 of the Infinity Stones, but for some reason, you limit yourself to 1.
I know, right?
Are you serious, dude?
I
I'm
can
not gonna
understand this
not.
people.
I'm not gonna not. Dude, there's
I feel
games that
that.
I see games that are on sale on Steam for $10. On Epic, they're 3. I'm
Or
not going
free.
to buy
Yeah.
them. I'm not going to buy them on Steam as a matter of principle. I'm
Punishing
trying to
himself.
just play the game, and if it's cheaper
Yeah.
there, and I can just get the app. I don't need to pay for the app. I can just double click the app the same way I
That's
double click
all
on
it is.
Steam.
A double click, man. They make it seem
Press
like it's
play.
something insane.
Oh, come on.
Like, the
No.
dude who was messaging the guy from Alan from Remedy, he's like, I'm a fan of your games. I played all your games, but I haven't played Alan Wake 2 because it's not on Steam. It's like, you're a fan of their game, all their games, and you haven't played Alan Wake 2, their biggest game, their game of the year, because it's on Epic, only Epic. And he's like, "Oh, bring it on the next. Don't put it on Epic next time. Put it on Steam next time so I can play it." The guy from Remedy was like, "Yo, bro, it ain't that deep. Like, just like, if you like the game, if you like our games, go play it there. Like, no one's telling you to go buy a console, because Sony's telling you to go buy a console to play their games. Nintendo's telling you to buy a
PlayStation,
console to go play their games.
Xbox
Everyone's telling you to go
also
buy their
telling
consoles to play their games. But
Yeah.
PC, it's like, just download it, bro. It's like, nah, I can't. It's principle.
It's principle.
Please stop asking me questions about Xbox, ne?
Yeah. I mean, to the Game Pass question, I'm kind of in Osh's territory of 3 to 5 million, and I think there's just a few unknown anomalies here. I don't know how well Starfield did for them. I don't know how well Diablo did for them. Like, and I think that would give me a better gauge. But also, Osh, you mentioned that they're doing a lot of advertising. I don't see it. I see COD advertising. I don't see many Game Pass advertising. There
was one like I saw today, and it's on Times Square, and it says Xbox Day One. Huge,
really?
You know those like.
I saw the one on Times Square, but it didn't have Game Pass or Xbox on it.
It had
That's how I was
Xbox.
confused.
It literally said available Day One on Cloud and Game Pass.
Okay. We'll
And
see
it's
that.
also now, if you go to Xbox's page on X, it's the one they're running with now. It's the same one that they're running with now. This is the first time I've seen them pull out stops like this, Tyre, to be honest with you. Like,
Wow.
And that's where I'm a little bit
defending
excited.
Xbox. This is wild. Is defending Xbox. This is the end of the world, ladies
I'm just
and
saying that,
gentlemen.
like, I hope it works. Because if it works, maybe they'll change their mind about the. Because this is what I see. Xbox wants to be a publisher. All this stuff about and why they want to be a publisher, because they know they cannot grow Game Pass. You're sitting at 34 million and you've spent such a significant investment. I don't think Satya looks at that and says he's gonna get his ROI from Game Pass. So as a publisher, they can.
Yeah. I think the real talent in here is, and this is not me trying to take a shot at Xbox per se, but like when Jim Ryan, when he was on his when he was talking to the FTC and he was doing his his interview or whatever, and they asked him about Game Pass, and he's like, "Yeah, I heard they have 34 million. I'm so surprised with all the money they've spent. I'm surprised it's not that number." And he's like, "Yo, we don't even do as crazy stuff as they do, and we have like 50 something or whatever it is." And that's him. I understand what he's saying there is like, with the money you had, you could only do 34 million. If I was given that budget and I was managing Game Pass, we'll be up for 50. Then you add the PlayStation money in addition with the PlayStation IPs.
100, maybe 100
crazy numbers. But Jim Ryan is like looking at Xbox and feeling, he's like, 34 million after spending billions. That's the best you got. Who's managing you people? And to me, that was so telling, because he's I mean, he's not saying it outright, but he's saying like, y'all a joke over there. Y'all don't know what you're doing.
I just
And I
feel
think
that like I just feel that also the lack of transparency from Xbox makes it very difficult to sort of gauge how they rate success for them. They keep telling you all these things that change all the time. They say we look at it in terms of subscriber and player numbers. Then the next thing is like, we need more money or funding for these games, so we're going to put them on multiple platforms so we can make more games. So they keep changing the goalpost in terms of like how they measure success. If you ask Sony how they measure success, it's always been the same. It's the same reason now that they think they're doing badly, is because they're looking at like their overheads versus how much in terms of margin they're making of profit. And that is their biggest concern, is that, look, we're making the
6%
sales.
is not great.
Yeah,
6%
it's not. The margins are too low. So, and from them, I think it's more budget problem or budget oriented that they need to work on. But their metric for success is clear. They're transparent with their numbers. The moment a company starts not reporting their numbers, to me, I start to become very disillusioned in terms of like how they measure their success and what they consider to be successful. But look, I hope so. Like for me, if Black Ops does well, it's a win for me, because I want Xbox to succeed. I just feel that the people running it have a very different understanding of what success is to them. And the problem with that, I don't even think it's something that's going to take place in a year from now or 2 years from now. I think they're looking at a game of like 5 to 10 years. And
Yep,
again,
I can agree with that. They're
so
looking at and that's kind of the thing that's irritating as an Xbox fan.
your mic is breaking.
Something's up with your mic, Ham.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay,
that's better.
it's back.
It's back now.
All right, but yeah, so yeah, that's the one thing that's kind of irritating, in my opinion, about being a fan of Xbox, is that they look so far into the future and readjust so much that you just kind of don't know what's gonna happen next. The one thing that I have got from them is they're gonna be there. They're gonna be there. Whether you like it or not, or how they do it, they're gonna be there. They ain't going nowhere. But like, my whole thing has always kind of been, and it's always kind of like this whenever you're like a fan of anything, whether it's a team or whatever the fuck, right? You always have your stretches, right? Where you're like good, and then you have your stretches of, what are we doing right now? And I feel like Xbox just kind of does that more often than other businesses. In my opinion, they do that because they can afford it. They do that because when Jim Ryan said what he said and said they would not allow me to do that, yeah, because his ass would have been fired. They can't afford that shit.
Absolutely.
But Microsoft is like, oh man, I just dropped my fucking Louis Vuitton purse in this puddle. I'm just gonna go buy a new one. Sony will fix it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a difference, but like, there's a difference between me going to go buy a meal at Ruth Chris with my limited income compared to, I don't know, Adam Sandler walking it. Right? I'm going to feel that mistake later on that month, maybe. Adam Sandler ain't. They're just trying to figure out, it's still on my diet. That's his idea of it. It was the steak. I got the steak and I got the broccoli in there. It was still on my diet. I got some benefit off of it. That's Microsoft's kind of way of looking at it. I got something out of it. But we're gonna try something else next time, because I don't really like that place anymore.
When you guys said that Xbox is very future looking, like 100%, you're right. Subscription services, xCloud, PC, like they're very future focused. The problem is just like
Connect.
When it comes to the execution of these future things, it's a problem. I'll give an example. Yeah, when Resident Evil 4 was being made, who's the guy who made Resident? I can't remember his
Shinji
name. Sorry,
Mikami.
Shinji Mikami. Yeah, he did an interview with Xbox, Nintendo, and probably PlayStation as well. And Xbox, they floundered. They got the quotes wrong. They said the wrong thing, mistranslation, all this. How do you fumble that? That's so weird. But anyways, that's fine. So the thing is, like, you learn from your mistakes, right? Obviously. So in this generation, they've done a decent job in repairing the Japanese relationships with the publishers or whatever. But I keep asking, like, yo, like, we're not getting enough. Where are your your first party games? Where are your remasters or remakes from the 360 era, like Blue Dragon? Like, oh, there's a lot of games that you could remake that everyone would love.
Oh,
And then I heard that, like, yo, that they hired, like, last year, Maina Sato, who's she's overseeing the Xbox division now in Japan, and I'm thinking, you just brought her in now, 2023.
with
Why didn't
zero
you hire?
content.
Why didn't you hire her 3 years ago before the Series X and S came through?
Yeah.
Why are you doing it? Like, why are you so? It just baffles me that it feels like they went into this generation as a prep. Like, okay, let's just go in and see what happens, and then let's learn on the go. If you hired her well before, maybe Square Enix doesn't sign that deal with Sony. Maybe she makes sure you get some other. Maybe the relationship is better, so now you get some time exclusive games. Maybe you build a relationship with Sega better, and then who knows? Metaphor could be a Game Pass title. It's just to hire her now midway through the gen when she should have been hired clearly 4 years before this. Just, it didn't make sense to me. So I think they have good. I think when it comes to ambition, they think big. They just have the wrong people executing, which kind of goes back to what Jaffe keeps saying, which is, who are these people running the show? And I kind of agree. As much as I like them, I don't really. I feel like if we asked them, just real quick, if we asked them, you guys at Sony, would you hire anybody at Xbox? I think they'll laugh at
Negative.
They're like, these losers.
And meanwhile, Sony has lost so much talent that has been with Sony that helped build those studios, like a Connie Booth. After she left and she broke up with Sony, like, nobody caught. I've not heard any of the big publishers saying that they caught her. And, like, I would say that the people that need her the most right now is Xbox. Yeah. And, like, teams, and Phil has not, like, bolstered that team. Some people have been fired or left, and some of the people that they inherited from Activision Blizzard, they managed to piss those people off who were old Xbox guys. Like this guy that's always trolling Xbox. I forgot his name. I think he used to work on Halo, and he worked on Diablo or on World of Warcraft.
I think I know.
But he was a very, very key part. He was excited to be part of Xbox, but when he heard about the, like, multi-platform strategy, dude resigned. Like, and he keeps, every single time there's a post about exclusivity, he'll talk about, like, look at what Sony can achieve by releasing exclusives. And that guy's a brilliant guy. He's got a very good track record. And Xbox just keeps letting the talent go, and then the same people that have been there failure after failure are still there. And I'm not talking about Phil.
It's not just that they let people go. They have contracts right now that don't attract new talent. Like, you look at From Software and PlayStation, and they offer developer security. Like, as much as we might talk about, like, we're doing this for fun. But if we did this for work, there's a high probability we'd all choose to go and podcast wherever we'd have a fixed contract. And Xbox is the guys that are still to this day hiring people on precarious contracts that are like 12 months, 8 months, or whatever. Might be efficient for cost cutting or whatever. Doesn't keep people around.
Yeah, Mike. Yeah, sorry, Loke. The guy's name is Mike Yabra.
Yeah,
Mike Ibarra.
Mike Ibarra,
yeah.
I don't know if I think there might have been some issues because it wasn't like nobody with some weight hinted this, but I did hear this that, like, during the Activision Blizzard situation, obviously there was some management problems with some people being dodgy, and maybe it's possible that, like, there were some reviews on him and he was maybe too controversial to keep around. Maybe I'm just like I think I heard that somewhere, but it's probably
I'll
not
check.
true.
Yeah, I'll
No,
check.
no, I don't think you find anything. I'm just saying like I don't think maybe there was some issues there because people were kind of quite surprised when he got let go because he was an Xbox guy and it would make sense to kind of keep someone like him around. So it's like, wait, did they get rid of him because they had different differences of opinions, or because they were maybe Xbox was looking over like the HR stuff, and maybe someone was saying something rubbish, and they were like, we don't need this smoke. We want a new fresh start. Maybe I'm
It's
just
possible.
throwing out there.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But listen, I think the future of Xbox is going to
questions about Xbox, ne? Like just stick to PlayStation and other things.
Yeah.
I don't want to comment on Xbox.
But I'll say all these guys, they all have different problems. Xbox has a different problem from PlayStation. PlayStation has a different problem from Nintendo. Even Nintendo has problems. I think Nintendo's problems are going to be, I've said it before. Like, I don't think the Switch 2 is going to sell as well as much as the Switch 1. It's still going to sell well. But I think Nintendo's going to deal with a different problem in the sense of I don't know if people are going to be crazy about handhelds again, and I think we really need to know
wild for that. You were wild for that.
I think I'm speaking facts, man.
You were wild for that.
No, these are facts though, because a lot of people who got the Switch they got it because it was a novelty idea. It's kind of like the Oculus, the same thing. Oh, it's a handheld that can plug to the TV, so they bought it. That was it. And now some of those people, people aren't gonna buy it again because like why would they buy it again?
Because
the
Mario's
Zelda,
Kong.
Yeah, I mean, true.
People have been buying Nintendo things since the beginning of time. Those things, Mario will sell
the
consoles.
Useless clock. The useless clock that Matt and Ham and Cozy were talking about on Friday. It's useless. It's coming out next year and it already has a patch incoming. It's sold out.
What useless clock? What are you talking about?
They made a watch.
Nintendo clock thing, stopwatch. I don't know. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, but you see, I think like if you look at if you break down Nintendo's, you look at the Nintendo users who have the Switch, right? The first thing is, how many of those are just handheld gamers, right? And if you get to the handheld gamers, then you're gonna know that like they might lose those people to the Xbox handheld or the PlayStation handheld. These are not Nintendo gamers; these are just handheld gamers, right?
No, I don't think so. Because again, like when you talk about handheld gamers that play Nintendo games,
no, they're different. Yeah, so Nintendo gamers are gonna buy Nintendo consoles, 100%. The next question is, the ones who are not loyal are handheld gamers in general. They're only playing the Nintendo Switches because it's the only handheld that's there that is important. If you bring out a PlayStation 4, a PlayStation handheld and an Xbox handheld, the same way some people jumped from the DS to the PSP, yeah, you're gonna see some jumps. Of course you are.
So where's like let's ask the PSP some questions in terms of how that worked out 2 generations, 3 generations later.
No, because the PS Vita failed, right? But the PSP sold 90 million.
Or who else had a handheld out there that did go up against Nintendo? Nintendo has always crushed everyone when it comes to handhelds. They've been beaten since 1989. Never beaten. They are, how many generations is that?
The only serious competitor they had in the handheld market was PlayStation, which was the PSP.
Yeah, they crushed them twice.
What do you mean crushed? 90 million sold? What do you mean crushed? What are you talking about?
How many sales? What was this final sales of the Vita?
No, I'm talking about the PSP. Like we're talking about
PSP
the Vita,
like 75, and
90,
then
PSP was like 90 million sold. Wait, 80 million, wasn't it?
Something like that. But like that's still
listen, let's be clear, right? You can't be the dominant handheld maker and a new entry comes in and sells 80 million units. That's a threat, 100%.
I mean, Xbox did that.
80, yeah, the PSP was 82 million.
And imagine this, yeah. There's no one challenging you in the handheld market, right?
God damn, the Vita was just 1.2 million.
Yeah, I mean, forget the Vita. We ain't talking about that.
This man here is defending, dude. The Nintendo DS sold over 154 million, making it one of the greatest selling consoles of all time.
Fuck me.
Yeah, and the Xbox sold like
Vita only sold 1.2 million.
24 million.
That's tragic.
Yeah,
there might be more portals out there than that.
That's true. Wow,
it's a sad story. Like, but they still got their S's. You just like we're arguing the semantics here.
Ty. You know,
They
a
still got
threat.
their
You,
asses
you
handed.
can make a threat. You can make it. You can threaten Mike Tyson, but you have to follow through.
Yeah,
And
But remember, it's all about
and the
taking. It's all
PSP
about
was a
taking
good
some
threat.
share.
The PSP was a good threat, but they didn't follow through. I think the PSP was like Game Pass to PlayStation. I think PlayStation were were kind of shooken by Game Pass, and then when Microsoft didn't follow through, they were like, "Ah, okay, whatever."
This is honestly the best time for Microsoft to launch a handheld. Really, especially with everything being as digital as it is.
Yeah.
To
And they
me,
sold
it's just
8 billion. So,
So, sorry, just a question there for you guys. Then, if you guys are handheld gamers, right, and you can play your Xbox games on your handheld, like ROG Ally, like Steam Deck, right, and you're
Yeah.
handheld gamers, and you had to pick between the Switch and the Xbox handheld, like why would you pick the Switch? What is the reason?
because and the one thing that's gonna come out here is what Nintendo always wins on. It's the same reason why the PS, like the DS, beat the
Exclusive.
PS. Besides
And
exclusive, it's battery life, better optimization of the actual handheld technology. Nintendo has been so good at that, so consistent that even back in the 80s or the early 90s, when people were releasing things like the was it the Lynx, the Jaguar Lynx, and the Nomad, that little Genesis
yeah.
Sega thing that was full color. Nintendo beat them with like a freaking a Casio screen, a thick device like this with a Casio screen, just because of the how well it used the battery life and the fact that it was super portable. It was much smaller than the others, even though it
yeah, but
was
like,
thick.
but think about what I just said though. Like, if you're into handheld and you can play Baldur's Gate 3, you can play the new GTA when it comes out. You can play Call of Duty at better graphics. You can play Assassin's Creed Shadows. You can play all these games on your Xbox Series X on your handheld, and you are a handheld gamer. That's the way you primarily like to play. Why would you choose a Switch over the Xbox handheld or the PlayStation handheld?
Because Shigeru Miyamoto, son.
No, but see,
That's that.
that's two separate points because that's a Nintendo gamer. I'm talking about handhelds.
I'm just, I don't know.
Okay, I'll give an example to you right now. Yeah, if you gave me a choice between, I like Nintendo games. If you gave me a choice right now between Xbox games and Nintendo games, I'm choosing Xbox games every freaking time. I'm choosing the Xbox console because I get
Same,
Star
same.
Wars, I get Hogwarts Legacy, I get all the games that we all play, that we primarily play on Xbox. So I'm picking the handheld, Xbox handheld, to get those games. Why would I choose a Nintendo handheld?
It's going to be a lot of factors, Ty. I think it's going to be, you're going to have to factor
But
things
that's a
in like
good point,
price.
though. He's
Uh,
kind of on point there.
no, he's right.
It comes down to the same thing it always does. It's just the games.
No, but you see, I get what you're saying right there, yeah. But I'm saying that we have to divide who came to the Switch because of the novelty idea of a handheld. It's interesting,
But
right?
I don't think there's a lot of people that did, Ty, to answer your question.
No, I know they
think a
did
lot of
because
them came
a
because
lot of my
of
friends,
Nintendo.
a lot of my
people
friends'
that
girlfriends,
they need
Plus,
and
the
all my
benefit.
friends' girlfriends, and all these random people who are very casual, they bought the Switch because of the idea of it. It was interesting, it was cool, but they didn't come
Yes.
for the Wii U. They didn't come for the GameCube. Because there's nothing special about it. So now the Switch is a special console that has some unique properties. Oh, it's a handheld that you plug to the TV. That's cool. I'm gonna get it. Same thing with the Quest.
But my thing is like it's not like the Quest because of the fact that like the whole novelty of it plugging into your TV sort of wore off a long time ago, and the main ones that were selling were probably what is it, the Switch lights.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has one of those, and it's because of the fact that it's a combination of battery power, the actual portability of the console, and the Nintendo seal of quality. I think.
It's still, I see what you're saying, but it's still like you're looking at the different factors. I'm trying to separate those Nintendo Switch players into market segments and to see how you target that segment, right? So if Xbox came to me and said, hey, listen, how do we compete against the Switch? I'm going to say, well, these are the novelty players that makes up 10%. These are the Nintendo players who are there for Nintendo specifically. You can't really catch those players because they're always going to buy them. I don't care about handheld gaming. I bought a Nintendo Switch because I want to play Smash Bros. So I'm a Nintendo gamer in that sense, right? So you can't really steal me away. But there's going to be gamers out there. The question is, how many of these gamers are actually just fans of handhelds, not Nintendo fans, just fans of handhelds? And that's the market that you're going to primarily target. Because now Nintendo's going to say to themselves like, oh, well, we're going to give you a Nintendo Switch 2 that is the same level, same power as the PS4, whatever it is. And that's maybe a compelling story, but then the Xbox comes along and says, yeah, but here's our Xbox handheld that can play your Starfield, your Baldur's Gate 3, your Wukong. But you're a handheld gamer, so why would you choose the Switch to play Mario Kart when you actually want to play the games like Wukong and Baldur's Gate 3 on a handheld platform? These are the console players that you're going to lose.
Yeah.
Because you have a weaker platform. Nintendo doesn't have these games. I want to play Assassin's Creed Shadows. Remember, I'm a handheld gamer, not a Nintendo gamer. I just like handhelds. Assassin's Creed Shadows is coming out. Why would I pick the Nintendo Switch that doesn't have these games? And I can choose the Steam Deck, Xbox handheld, or PlayStation handheld.
The man is not crazy, Ushers. He's not crazy. He's definitely onto something. Asian markets love handheld devices. Yeah,
I hear what he's saying, but I just feel that, like, again, all of Nintendo's stronghold is now the US, but it's normally like Japan, and in Japan, handheld is king. Like that's the primary thing. And I just feel that, like, with all this stuff, like they're doing, like these
because of the commute, right? It's king because of the commute. Because
I think that's one of
the average Japanese person spends about 4 hours going and coming to like to and from work. That's why handhelds dominate.
And I agree with that, And my last point would be, I just feel that Nintendo is almost like Disney. They've had an entire generation to raise different generations of kids with this, with these IPs that are like almost sacred to them. And every single parent wants a Nintendo console in some form or another for their kids. And they will choose Nintendo over Sony or over Xbox, regardless of what the value offering is. And again, this is not the adults themselves for themselves. This is for their kids and their youngsters, and that's the target market that Nintendo is always focused on. That is why it's still Zelda, it's still Mario, it's still Donkey Kong in the same cutesy, kiddie-like, fashion. Even when I have kids, the first console I'm giving them is a Nintendo console, whether it's the next Switch or whatever it is, because it's just a traditional thing, and it will always be like that.
But it's like there's a situation where, like, look at Metaphor and the Persona games, right? Those are games that are perfect for the handheld systems. If Metaphor isn't on the Nintendo Switch 2 and it's on the PlayStation Portable or the Xbox Portable, even on Game Pass, and you're like, yeah, you're a Nintendo fan, but like, remember, you're a handheld fan as well. You want to play Metaphor on a handheld. Nintendo doesn't have it. Why would you choose a Nintendo console? Because you're getting the same thing from Nintendo. You're getting Mario, you're getting Zelda. Like, these are good games. I'm not lying. I'm not saying they're not good games. But why would why would maybe a Japanese guy who's even, like, let's say an adult, for example, who likes different types of games, who wants to play Elden Ring on a handheld, because he's a handheld gamer. So it's like, yeah, I want to play Elden Ring. I don't want to play on my house, my TV. So the reason why Nintendo was able to get the Japanese market so much is because they moved towards the handheld side of things, right? So if Sony goes back towards the handheld side of things, that is competition. That is something that they're not going to feel comfortable with, because now Sony is saying God of War, Horizon.
You think Sony knows how to make if Sony knew how to make a portable device that could play God of War, they would have done it instead of making a streaming device.
No, but the rumors is they are making a handheld device. Same thing with Xbox. Both of them are making a handheld device. And the plan is, I think the handheld is going to come out with the PS.
I could believe that Xbox is doing it. But Sony already missed, dude. They already missed with the Portal.
No, the Portal was just a streaming to kind of test to see if people even like the idea. And remember what they said, the Portal was selling out pretty fast, and people were actually using the Portal.
No doubt. It's sold out a lot, but we don't know how many they made.
Yeah, but see, people are not buying the Portal because it's a streaming device, right? The question is, if Sony does bring out Sony's good at making devices, right? So we all know that. If Sony brings out a device and they're saying, like, okay, whatever, let's say it's $450, whatever it is, yeah. Because remember, Nintendo doesn't like to lose money on their handhelds, so the Switch is probably going to be like $400 potentially. And then Xbox and Sony comes out handheld and it's like 50, 100 euro more. And then you got to look at the wealth of library, because every game you buy on your PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 will probably work on your handheld. So it's like I'm gonna stay in the family because I want to play Elden Ring on the way on the train in. Even an easy one, Genshin Impact is a game that's not on the Switch, right? If you get it
Yeah.
on the Sony handheld, it's gonna be there. That's a game that has millions of players.
Yeah.
Like Nintendo games are great, they're cool, but remember, they weren't great enough for the GameCube, they weren't great enough for the Wii U because people wanted different types of games. So when Metal Gear Solid comes out, or Kojima's new game comes out, which I'm sure the Japanese players will want to play, you can't play on your Switch too. Well, where are you gonna play it then? You gotta get
But
the
like,
PS5 or you gotta get the PlayStation handheld.
Or the Rogue
but
Ally.
you're also assuming that the form factor is going to be competitive with Nintendo's form factor in terms of battery life, ratio to graphics, all the things that Nintendo has always stuffed up other people making handhelds on. How are those things like? No one is as good at making handhelds, particularly gaming devices, as Nintendo has become. And like I'm curious because I mean I have these I have like a Rogue Ally, and these things are just too top heavy. You cannot run an Xbox and still have reasonable a Series X and still have reasonable battery life. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work like that. All
But I
these
think
Windows handhelds are proving to be a very, very like hard sell. And then you look at the Steam Deck, for instance. Steam Deck is the closest thing you get to a reasonable battery life. Plus, you still have access to all those games, and they are far cheaper than Nintendo games. As you don't have, you can get like a game, well, not necessarily Game Pass, but let's just say the Steam store alone, a lot of games get discounted, whereas Nintendo games never get discounted.
well, hold on for a
But
second. Like, so
that,
apparently the Steam Deck's battery life is like 7 to 8 hours, right? And it says the Nintendo's Switch's hours battery life is like 2 to 6 hours. I think the main thing here is the Nintendo
fair
game.
enough.
Sorry,
So why has the Steam Deck not even touched or grazed the
because
surface? It's got all these games.
nobody
Your
knows about the Steam Deck. It's
And it's
completely
convenient, dudes. Let's not lie to ourselves. The reasons why people who have been buying consoles for all these decades is because it's convenient. The Steam Deck, the ROG Ally, all these other things where you have to set up a whole bunch of stuff instead of just starting up an OS that's already installed and
Steam Deck,
keep it pushing. A lot of
the Steam
people
Deck has
are
that
very
too.
attracted to that convenience. Well, how many people know that? Oshus.
Well, then, but I'm saying that if Steam already has one out and they're doing the best, how is Sony or Xbox gonna come in there and do it better than?
Oh, here's a good question for you then. Do you think Sony releases a PlayStation Portable and Xbox releases a PlayStation Portable, knowing that it's only going to sell less than 3 million? Because the Steam Deck is at 3 million right now.
First thing I'm saying, Ty, is very simple: is that the form factor of those things is going to be far bigger than a Nintendo device. So their devices are going to be bigger simply because they have to have more processing power. They have to do all this racing stuff and all this other, and that already puts it in the same bracket, or those systems the same bracket as the Steam Deck. Because again, Steam is great at marketing. They market for the actual.
Steam well, I agree with you. That's going to be bigger. Yeah,
So
I don't know if it's
gamers,
bigger. I don't know if it's bigger than the Steam Deck because the Steam Deck is like 4 years old now.
Yeah, but what I'm saying to you is that I don't think though the Xbox and the Sony whatever that's coming up, those handhelds are gonna do better than say the Steam Deck 2.
Oh no, they will. 100% will.
Okay.
Sony's not going to release that. Sony's not going to put millions into a handheld that's going to, because remember wait, what was the PlayStation Vita sales?
1.2 million.
Okay, so no, I think it did more than that, right?
It has a little bit more than that.
It's 1.2.
Let's see.
No, it's not 1.2. Stop.
No, it is low.
No
That's
way.
way
Yeah, that's way too low.
maybe in one region they sold that much. Maybe in North
yeah, maybe one country. Yeah, 1.2.
No,
Yeah,
I don't think so. Like Sony still has
Worldwide, 1.2 million units.
No, stop.
No,
Let me put it up on the screen. Motherfuckers think I'm capping.
Nah, I looked it up. I've seen. What am I seeing? 1.2. I know it's more than this.
10 to 15 million. Is the estimate is 10 to 15 million low.
What?
It's 10 to 15.
Where does it say that? Because this is from gamesindustry.biz.
Wikipedia.
That's a very old.
Wikipedia. Are you forgetting Wikipedia is where anyone can go there and edit and tell us that this black samurai was a general in Japan? Are we serious?
No, but look, it was 1.2 in 2012.
Wikipedia is not a source anymore. I'm sorry, Oshis.
Okay, so Google PS Vita lifetime sales.
Dude, can you not read the English language? It
It's
has
10 to
now
15
sold 1.2 million worldwide following its launch in Europe, North America, Latin America.
Yeah,
What's
but-
the date
but
of
look,
an article?
when was that article released? I
Let's
think that was
check.
2012. I think it's a very old article. That's why
That's an old article, bruv.
Sony just didn't want to update the numbers because it was embarrassing. But
Hold
it's
on.
done more than that.
Okay,
It did
2012.
Yeah, you see,
2012. Okay, so you want me to amend the search to what? PS Vita
lifetime sales.
sales. Let's see. I'm not doing Wikipedia. I'm sorry. Okay, let's check Statista.
Yeah, they're good.
Statista is more
Most of this
serious.
stuff is hidden though. Like most of this, their numbers
You
sometimes.
gotta
are
share
bad.
the screen.
Oh shit, my bad. I just assumed it would follow the thingy.
You could have. There's usually a button on top of the tab that says "Share this screen" instead.
Okay. So this Statista
Was that 14 million?
sales
No, 5 million.
30,000 was sold worldwide. Substantial decrease in previous years. Where's the total?
The Statista normally does quarterly sales. They don't do full lifetime sales.
All right, let me go back.
Yeah. So my point here though was that the Steam Deck right now is at 3 million units. Sony's not releasing a handheld knowing it's going to sell less than 3 million units, and neither is Xbox. That's just going to be a disaster. There's no way these companies are going to do that. The reason why they're not good, the reason why they're going to release this console is because they estimate that they're going to sell more than Steam. Because Steam doesn't, first of all, you can't buy the Steam Deck in a shop, right? So that's like the first loss right there. And just based on the name alone, Valve is a PC like company. Everyone likes them because of the PC focus. They make this Steam. The launcher is great. These are not console gamers, right? So they don't have any. These are not. This is not a console publisher, or it's not a handheld publisher. They don't have any rapport with these gamers. Whereas with an Xbox handheld, you already have an established fan base that is willing to go buy a handheld console. Same thing with Sony as well. So I estimate that like 100% Xbox.
Okay, estimated 16 million. According to The Verge, estimated 16 million.
Yeah, and that was abysmal for Sony. Sony's probably expecting to sell,
dude, from 80 million. From 80 million, you didn't even sell half. From 80 million, dude.
Yeah,
that's not even a quarter. That's not even. What happened?
That's a bigger L than the Xbox. From Xbox.
What happened? What I want to know, right? What I want to know is what happened that people did not support the Vita. I don't understand.
It's because Sony stopped making games for it. Like David Jaffe did a whole thing about it in terms of how poor the support was for the Vita and how long it took for them to actually port games like Uncharted onto that console. As a result, it just had no support. You had years where the library was dry, and what you found is that you had more of your homebrew and your smaller indie guys making games for it. But unfortunately, those games were never released outside Japan. And some others Sony never officially wanted to license anyway. So it was Sony's lack of focus on the Vita that killed it.
Yeah, but also remember we spoke about this, and I said that at the same time, remember they had messed up with the PS3 as well, right? So they'll probably just focus on the PS4 heavily.
Yeah.
But I think the other important thing here is the next Xbox console and the next PlayStation, the next Xbox handheld and the next PlayStation handheld are going to be, they're going to work in tandem with the Xbox Series consoles. So developers don't have to make two different SKUs. It's going to be the same thing. Baldur's Gate, it's going to be a Steam Deck basically. Baldur's Gate 3 will work on the handheld and will also work on the Xbox. So, and if you're doing Xbox Play Anywhere, you're basically saying that if I buy Metaphor on the Xbox console, I'm going to get on my handheld as well. That's a win right there. If I buy Starfield, these are the W's right there. So once again, if you're handheld gamer, not Xbox gamer, why would you get the Switch 2 over a system that is superior and has a wealth of games The only reason why you would get the Switch 2 is because you like Nintendo games, but that's a separate market. Those are Nintendo fans. I'm trying to look at the people who are going to leave the Nintendo Switch and move on to something else that's better. Because remember, these people are the same people who left Nintendo when the GameCube wasn't for them. They left Nintendo when the Wii U wasn't for them. I got the Wii U because I'm a Nintendo fan. I got the GameCube because I'm a Nintendo fan. Who are these people who vanish after the N64? Who are these people who vanished after the success of the Wii? They're not loyal. They're gonna just move on straight away. And I think that's when Nintendo has to compete. They have to say, okay, who are these people who are gonna vanish, and how important are they to, like, what is that number that makes up the Nintendo Switch percentage?
Sorry,
This is why
Oshus.
I say that they're not going to sell us more Switches too, because there's the novelty people are going to leave. They're not going to be as interested. Like, I have many friends who have Nintendo Switch. They don't have games for this console. They have like one. I mean, they bought Zelda when it came out. They didn't finish it. They just moved on. They bought Mario Kart. They moved on. When I thought about Mario Kart for the Wii U, they didn't buy the Wii U. They didn't care. It was the novelty that got them. So those people are going to probably not buy it again. The handheld gamers could potentially leave to go somewhere else. And then what you're left with is the Nintendo fans. What is that percentage? I don't know, but I know the Switch 2 will not sell more than the Switch 1. Like, how can it? It's impossible.
Yeah, it's probably not going to happen.
In the same way, just real quick, in the same way how when Xbox 360 came out, the PlayStation fans stayed. Everyone else who was interested in something else left. That's how the Xbox 360 sold 80 million units. And Sony went from selling 150 million PlayStation 2s to 80 million PlayStation 2s, PS3s.
Please.
Like, we make it seem as if, like, just because you're successful in one generation, it's going to count to the next generation. I mean, Xbox 360, listen, as soon as Xbox One came out, people were like, yeah, it's not really for me. All the casuals left. All the people who want something else left. The people who stay were the hardcore Xbox fans. The people who have the Xbox Series X and S are the hardcore Xbox fans. The reason why Xbox is in this position is because the casuals left and went to Sony. And those casuals could easily leave Sony again and go back to Xbox.
And come back.
Just like that. And those casuals are also on the Nintendo platform as well. They could easily leave just like that.
Yeah, I'm one of the casuals. For me, Vita was an amazing handheld. Just sad it never got the support. C'est la vie, mon ami. C'est la vie. Plugging. Oh, everyone's already plugged. Jeez, this is probably one of the longest outros we've ever had. God damn. Oshus is out. Later. Ham also is out. Ciao.
All right, guys. Later.
Essentially, just me and you. Chai. Anyways, thank you to everyone for coming through. For indie scene and some. Yeah, thank goodness for the indie scene.
True.
Thank you for everyone for coming through. Thank you to everyone for coming through. Dron TJ, Ron Slusher, Fark, Vincent Vega, Raichi, Bunty came in here, Wagwan, One Away Dragons. If I didn't mention you, I'm sorry. Dayreezy as well. Thank you guys for coming through. As usual, this is Everything Plus Gaming. We do this every single Monday. Tuesdays, I stream Football Manager. Tomorrow, I'm thinking about, you know what, tomorrow I'll be doing a reaction live stream on the Xbox presentation. Tai might be joining me. Ham will also might be joining me. 1 hour after the Xbox showcase thingy. Wednesdays is the lowdown with me and Ham chatting about what's happening in gaming in terms of news, etc. Thursdays it's kind of open, but we'll see what Ham does this Thursday. Friday is bullshitting with me, Ham, Cozy, Matt Likes Games, Mental 9 Hour, and a guest or two if they don't flake. No pressure. Saturday Kelela streams Halo ranked. So she's very good. Make sure to come through and watch. Thank you so much for watching. We will be seeing you tomorrow to react. Wait, is it tomorrow though? No, it's on the 17th. It's on Thursday. The Xbox thing is on Thursday. My bad, my bad. So yeah, we might do a post stream on Thursday. Yeah, it's on the 17th. Tomorrow's the 15th. All right, so tomorrow we're just doing the Football Manager stream. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys tomorrow.